I love how everyone goes so silent.
Just so it doesn't kick us out, that's all. You're now live. Okay.
Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Nerdy Up North podcast, the Nerdy podcast hosted by Northern Nerds. I'm one of your hosts, Sam.
And I'm the other host, Paul. No, I forgot my name slightly there.
I am Paul. And today we're joined by Team Podcast Emma and Kelly.
Yes. It's a return of the Mac, but yes. So today's episode is going to be a bit fun. Like I say, a lot of people have been wanting to get involved with this one and do this one for a while. It's a top 5 movie soundtracks, which again made me quite nervous and excited at the same time, because a lot of people do get quite passionate about, like I say, what they love about the music soundtracks, and music can make or break a film, as we found out with a lot of films that came out.
As we found out with Justice League. Let's just put that one out there.
We know you've got issues with the Justice League.
Yeah,
let it go.
It's not in my top 5, that's for damn sure.
Yes. So I'm just getting the adult warning on the tube now before we let Kelly speak. So
got a mouth like a toilet, man.
So that's all done there.
All done.
Just before we start as well, just to give a big shout out, the Nerdy Up North community and group, we have reached 4,300 members this week. So it's still growing and it's still thing. And we did get our first message to do a shout out on the podcast today. I'm surprised not many people have done this yet, because we're so big and popular and stuff. But
and so class and mint. Yeah,
so we had a member there called Kim, who's part of I would say she does, what was it she said? Sorry, I can't get my words out now. Cheerleading, yes. She's part of a cheerleading team in Wallsend. That's opening up for other people. So a website, it's called Catalyst All Stars. The website is www.catalystallstars.co.uk. It says it can be found on social media as well. It does do classes are offered for recreational competition for ages up to 5 to 17. Adult recreation and dances ages for 8+. So it could be a good way to keep fit. Might be like all bring it on and start getting all bitchy and shit, but it could be fun. But yes, get the pom-poms on. So yeah, if you're interested in that type of thing, I know Kelly likes rollerblading, but I could see her being a bit of a pom-pom girl as well.
Pom-pom, chicky pom-poms.
But yes, so today, like I say, with it being, like I say, the first time we've done a top 5 in a few weeks as well, after the double episode last week. So it's nice to be a bit familiar. But I don't know about you, I did find this one a little bit difficult. I did swap and changed a few times, so fuck you, Kelly.
I have had a day-to-day of chopping and changing and telling him I've changed my list. I've changed my list.
I had to give myself rules. I gave myself strict rules, and I decided that I wasn't going to include musicals. And I wasn't going to include original scores, because I could literally go on forever.
Yeah,
me too.
Top 20.
Yeah,
top
be here all night.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll get Grant running on soon, shouting like what he thinks as well. I bet you. But
just a shout out to everyone who's in the chat tonight. Hi everyone, and I think our esteemed leader wants to go first this time.
Because everyone took my picks last time, so I went in a huff.
So he's took a huff. He took a chapter out of my book and took a huff and went, I'm going first.
So normally as well, I share the image of what the podcast is going to be about during the day, but to be honest, that would have been quite a big spoiler if I did. So I'm leaving that to when the next goes live. So I'm going to start with this one. It's a pick I've already picked before, so I'll get the ball rolling. And it's one of my all-time favorite films, and the music in it makes the film and is just perfect. So I'm going to start off singing as well. So fuck yes. So you don't need money. You don't.
Oh
need
my God!
Yes. Don't need a credit card to ride this train. So yes, Back to the Future is my top pick for number 1. Straight there, get in there, because I thought someone might have else would have picked it. No. But absolutely amazing soundtrack from start to finish. It's got places like I can say The Power of Love, which
like wedding song.
Huey.
QE. Like I say, the actual song from Back to the Future, like I say, Back to the Future, well, it's called Back to the Future, like I say, with all the others as well. I'm trying to think of, now we're on, my mind's went completely blank, so I'm trying to get the list of that. So it's like,
Google.
yes. But yeah, like I say, even like from the start and finish, when you listen to the songs, you can't help but tapping your foot, or you think of the songs as well. Like even when Johnny B. Good's playing with Michael J. Fox is blasting away on the guitar and dancing away. And like I say, I'm all for the 50s theme. Like I say, I know we couldn't pick, I didn't pick musicals like Emma, so Grease couldn't be in the picks, unfortunately. So this was as close as to Grease as I could get, I think.
I would agree with that. Yeah,
because it was quite a good mixture of 60s and 80s music as well throughout.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
And it's good to have the 2 decades, you know, like the at the time, the modern 80s. God, that's like fucking nearly 40 years ago. It's just like,
shush.
Oh, this is where
having the 50s and stuff. Oh, it's absolutely lush. It's like best of both worlds.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, Power of Love was my wedding song as I
shut the front door.
No, it was as I left, that was my wedding song. That's just mint. Yeah, Back to the Future. That is
let's face it, with Back to the Future as well, you haven't just got your main songs like, you know, Huey Lewis and the News. You've also got your background songs like a lot of you know, Michael Jackson, Beat It and stuff like that. So it does. It plays right into that 80s 80s classics.
Definitely. And that's why I always wanted to get, like say couldn't not hit the point as well. There's probably a lot more, I would say, meaningful songs or meaningful albums to me as well, but just for pure fun factor as well, because you can't help but like smile when you think of it. Like as you said, as soon as I start like trying to sing, your face is lit up, and Emma couldn't help herself in joining in as well. So
and I got on the train.
Yes, you did.
Yes. But yeah, like again, I don't really think of like the other side. I know that, like say, with the trilogy as well. I don't think that their soundtracks, again, I could be wrong, had much of an impact, because it was kind of like just rehashing the same ones that was going through.
I don't know, because in Back to the Future 3, didn't they have ZZ Top as like the band playing at the festival?
I can't remember that film at all.
I know every inch of all 3 of them. So
no, good shout. Like I say, I forgot about the ZZ Top moment. Yeah. So I'll go for the trilogy then. So Back to the Future 2 kind of just uses the same premise, because then the Jaws whole 3D 16 or something like that. That was quite amusing.
It's like 34 or something. It was great. My favourite out of the trilogy is 2, and I love it. I absolutely love when they go into the future. The future. The 2015 future.
Yeah, which is now the past.
It gets confusing now. Like I say the same time frames now. I got sad when we got past the point where Marty went in the future and we didn't have hoverboards and
cars that fly.
Yeah.
No,
where's my flying DeLorean?
No, but Reebok did bring his trainers out.
It did.
That was the only thing that came out of 2015 from Back to the Future. Reebok brought the trainers out.
They cost a lot of money, those.
They weren't cheap. They weren't cheap
at
all.
No, you had to pay for that nostalgia.
Yeah.
So that's my first pick. So who wants to go next? I'll let you fight amongst yourselves.
Me.
I want to go next.
That was not a big fight.
me. Right. My first pick, and again, I put myself down to so many rules, and it was really difficult. My first pick is Baby Driver. Controversial film. It has got Kevin Spacey in it. I know, obviously, there's a little bit of controversy around Kevin Spacey these days.
One person out of many in that film. So.
Yeah. Exactly. But with, you know, classics on it, like Baby Driver by Simon and Garfunkel. You've got, you know, Brighton Rock by Queen. You've got the Commodores, Easy. You've even got a fantastic cover of that song by a girl called Sky is it Ferrari or something like that. And it's just, I mean, from start to finish, the soundtrack, the film is the soundtrack.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've never seen it, but I have heard that.
Neither have I.
It's brilliant. It's a brilliant sound. Well, in my opinion, it is a brilliant soundtrack, and
it's Edgar Wright film, isn't it?
I I don't know.
I think it was an Edgar Wright directed film because it was a film he did after Ant-Man. Because that's why he left, controversial Ant-Man, and he went and did that.
Yeah.
But I know Charlotte shouted it was one of Charlotte's picks, I think.
Yes, it was.
Any film that can use Hocus Pocus by Focus is just, honestly, it's just class. And it's the best driving song ever, and they show that in the film. Like, it's brilliant.
I've never actually seen it. That thing, I know about it. It's always on my radar. I think with a lot of films, it got released, but didn't. I don't think it got a cinema release.
It wasn't like a big. It wasn't like a big deal made of it. The first time I heard of it and saw of it was when it came on Sky.
Yeah. Because I think, again, I might be wrong. Could be total bullshit here. But I think it came out the same time as Drive, so kind of Drive kind of overshadowed it a little bit. That again, another film with a great soundtrack.
Yeah,
Drive,
it is. Yeah.
But yeah. Again, Charlotte did mention it this week, and I have put it on my list to check out.
I would recommend it. Yeah. Definitely. If you can, obviously, if you can, it is on Netflix. If you can get over the fact that obviously it's got Kevin Spacey in it, and controversially, he is pretty good in it.
Yeah, I'm quite adept to separating the person
real
from
life
the art, because I think we had this argument before. There's not just one person makes a film, or not one person makes. I think there's a lot of people, and it's punishing them because of one person's.
Would you go and watch Miramax movies, or would you not watch Miramax movies because of Mr. Weinstein? Then you wouldn't be watching Scream and stuff like that.
And you'd miss half of the cinematic world. Do you know what I mean? To be fair,
yeah. For one person, it's I can separate.
I'd fuck you all if you try to take Dogma from us.
Don't take it away from me.
Yeah, certainly, quite a good pick there. So it is someone that I want to check out, but it sounds quite interesting. It sounds like quite Britpop.
It's it's got a really mix. You know, you've got your bit of Motown in there. You've got B.A.B.Y. by Carla Thomas as part of the soundtrack, and then you've got a bit of your classic rock like Queen and Radar Love, and things like that. And then again, you've got your prog rock by Hocus Pocus Focus, and which,
what a name,
honestly, is the best song ever. Not even a song, best music ever.
I just think it's funny that you thought all of our picks were going to pick the same as you, but you picked a film that we haven't fucking watched.
But that's only my first one. Yeah, I went for the outsider on the first one.
Just watch my face. Watch my face when she goes to pick the next ones, because I'll be like, oh.
Yeah.
Cool, good pick. So we're going to the lovely Kelly. So have you got your curtain out now? Are you doing the dancing for us yet?
Yeah, are we ever going to see the Stevie Nicks dance?
Oh, yeah, I need that neck curtain. Like, my man's got it. It needs a wesh. Right, I love film soundtracks. A lot of my CD collection are film soundtracks. It's just having a compilation of mint tunes that totally complement and encapsulate a film that you love. It's just bloody marvellous. I'm going with a really common choice for my first one, and then I'll get my wild cards out. But what I did, I had this is a soundtrack from my youth, and it reminds me of being young, pretty much 5.
Is it Cabaret the movie or something?
So brace yourself. The Lost Boys.
Oh, yes.
Right, well, we can jointly talk about it because it's on my list.
It's on my list as well.
It's not on mine. I don't know why, but it's not on mine.
Had to go on this.
Yeah, exactly. This was when I was just like, oh, shala. So it went off my list. And I was just like, well, no, actually it needs to be on this list.
Yeah. So we're having a threesome during this one as well.
We are. We're on a much more.
Oh, matron.
So live on camera. Never been done before.
Really?
There was rumours of videotapes getting about in pizzazz, but we'll not talk about that.
Just be me vomiting in the burger bar and trying to pass it off as I'm fine.
That was you.
So, I apologise for ruining your shoes. Anyway, so I remember we had it on a cassette tape that we recorded from someone who could afford to get the album. And my brother had kind of the tape deck with the 2 tapes, the vinyl bit, you know, that big box.
Yes.
Every
parent in the 80s had one.
Yeah.
And I remember it was on a black cassette tape. Tape from someone who had the proper copy. So piracy is a crime. Do not accept it, except when you need to listen to this soundtrack. I actually had watched the film age 5 and 6, but being the sort of era that we always watched films that we weren't meant to watch, really.
Oh, yeah.
And we still turned out to be, you know, well-rounded people and stuff.
Yeah, I think it prepared us for later in life. I think.
I don't know if I can class myself as well-rounded, but carry on.
But I remember I used to fast forward some of the scary bits. One chiefly would be the couple in the car. That used to really freak me out. That particular death when I was like 5 or 6, like, oh, fast forward that, let's get to the vampire bit. So it really like kind of fueled my love for like vampirisms, which is, you know, I love Buffy and things like that because, you know, a vampire fan. But I remember I used to listen to it on, we didn't have a Walkman, it would be like a walk dude, you know, like a cheap man's Walkman. And I used to formulate dance routines.
Oh,
to the Lost Boys.
to the soundtrack.
Yeah, it's got some cracking songs on there to do it too.
No,
absolutely class. Because it was going to be, I wanted to be in a goth band when I was younger. So this was me practicing.
It still can happen, Kelly. Like, say, get Donna on the phone.
Never give up on your dreams.
And I remember, this is proper hilarity. We had a talent show at school, and I went to a Catholic school, very Roman Catholic school, and I sang Say a Little Prayer Tonight to the whole class.
Brilliant.
5 minutes long, standing there, the instrumental, giving it this.
You are the cutest.
One of the boys said, oh, this song doesn't have any words, and I was like, it does in a minute.
But yeah, similar to me, like say, as it being the 80s film, I absolutely adore this. It is the film I watch when I'm feeling a bit sick. I don't know why it always seems
I get that.
Up, but the soundtrack, I know I used to always get wrong as well, because I used to always get mixed up with the Doors, because I used to think it was the Doors version of People Are Strange. And Kev, I think
the Funny Men.
Yep, I think I made a post about it before, and Kev rightly told us off. But it is
holding up to this right now, but this is the first time I'm learning of it too. So I thought it was the Doors as well.
No, it's not the Doors version. It's Echo and the Bunnymen. Yeah, I knew this.
Because it's got that orchestral bit in the middle.
Strange.
It's a good cover.
Yes. It's top. That's it. The vocals, you don't really tell too much difference. It sounds very Doors-esque, if that makes sense. I'm making up words now, but
Doors-esque.
Yeah, Doors-esque.
That actually reminds me. Yeah, one of the things that I've written, next page, is you know, Beauty Has Her Way. Where it's like kind of Star in the flipping, you know, fairground and that, and he sees her, he's like, oh my god, Michael's like, oh my god, look at her, and she's like, oh, look at me, I'm like a gypsy. I always thought that was fucking David Bowie.
Really?
I
get where you're coming from.
Yeah, and then I realised it's this man that just wants to be David Bowie.
Yeah.
I was just like, and it was only like, I think the past 5 years, I fucking realised it's by a band called Mummy Calls.
Mummy Calls.
But
I mean, let's face it, the best thing about the Lost Boys soundtrack is it makes you appreciate the wonder that is the saxophone.
Yeah, Tim
Campello.
I still believe.
The nicest. I have actually met the man. He is the nicest man in the world. I saw him play Still Believe live. It was absolutely phenomenal. We went to For the Love of Horror in 2019, and it was a Lost Boys reunion. I got to meet the majority of the Lost Boys.
That sounded amazing.
It was honestly, Emma, it was even
better.
I did.
You fucking bitch.
I stood right in front of him while Carolyn's brother he had this amazing comic book, Lost Boys comic book, and he was getting it all signed by everyone. And I stood directly in front of him while Gary was talking away about how mint the 90s were. And I'm just like, I did exactly the same when I stood in front of him who played Michael. Was in awe of him.
Is it Jason Patrick?
Yeah, he's a very shy man.
Is he really? Is he still
really
very, very pretty? Because he
very
wasn't
handsome, but very shy. But Tim Capello was so welcoming.
Emma would have licked him, I bet you.
Oh, all over.
He was just Tim Capello was just so welcoming that you couldn't help but talk to him. Like he asked how we were and how did we travel far to come here, and he was just a lovely bloke.
That's so nice.
And just seeing him play with the same get up on, might I add, as he did in Lost Boys.
Or lack of get up thereof.
Yeah. Lots of baby oil.
I was going to say, don't worry, girls, I'm not taking my top off tonight, so that's going to spoil it for us. But
I was promised some topless.
Saxophone.
No, but it was great. I love that song. I have a movie soundtrack that just gets played non-stop when I'm driving, and every song from Lost Boys is in there. So this is why it couldn't not be on my list. Lost in the Shadows gets stuck in my head.
It's a great song.
Every other day I can possibly get that song stuck in my head. It's just a fantastic soundtrack and just sums up like
the 80s.
In excess, yes.
Fuck me, right? Michael Hutchins. Now I was a bit of a wrong and right. Fucking lush.
To be fair, he just liked to strangle wank. He was all right.
Strangle wank.
Laying down the
Yeah, don't try that at home, kids.
No, let's not. Do you know what? I totally forgot at the beginning. I was so excited to get into this. I had to do my disclaimer.
Do it now.
Just quickly, before we go any further after Strangle Wank, anything that's discussed in this song, anything that's discussed in tonight's episode is our opinions and our opinions alone. And if you want to come and talk about it, come and join us in the Facebook group. But don't come after us, because the last thing we want is toxic behaviour and nerdism. There's a disclaimer done. Now let's continue.
You want to fight? I'll meet you in town.
The thing is, a little bit of sophistication.
That was funny.
Yeah. It's fixation.
It's not like he was putting like oranges up his arse like Bill.
Wow.
Anyway, did he have oranges up his arse or something?
No.
I feel like we've got off topic.
Yeah, pretty much.
Actually, that's going to be a top 5 soon. Weird ways celebrities have died. That's going to be in the future on the cards.
It's going to happen. Halloween special, maybe.
But what probably my favourite song in the album is "Cry Little Sister."
Yes, I met the guy who wrote that. At the Lost Boys reunion as well.
Oh, she's a proper name dropper. Yeah.
Have
you watched the podcast? This is what Sam does.
My sister always says if I'm not talking about people who I met at a convention, or
it's people who are dead.
It's bands, it's people who are dead, or bands that I've seen. So I can go on forever with that.
Anybody who's a celebrity out there, don't meet Sam because you're probably going to die.
Great.
And then I'll talk about it and mention it.
And then she'll talk about it on the podcast.
So coming back on subject, Kelly, why does this mean so much to you as well? I know you said you're feeling about the youth and wanting to join in the goth band and stuff like that.
It's just, as I say, I was like a pretty much of a loner child, and all I had really was like music and films. So this was like, the two things, and it was just mint. And I just remember, was it dancing to, the carousel instrumental?
Oh, yeah.
That's the last track. It's so hauntingly lush, and that spawned my love of like very similar bands that was it like the Dresden Dolls?
Yeah,
that
my sister's favorite band.
Absolutely love them, and Coco Rosie, which has that kind of like mysticals. I love shit like that. So yeah, just absolutely loved it. And you can, when you're listening to it, I mean, the one thing that I didn't like about the soundtrack is that it didn't have "Ain't Got a Home."
Does not, does it?
I got a voice. I sing like a frog. I sing like a girl.
It's not on there, is it? That's such a good
on there.
So we'll have to write into it now to request that, because
it needs adding.
That fucked me off.
Yeah.
That fucked me off because that's like the best. Because when you hear the songs, you see in your mind's eye what's fucking going on in the film.
In the
But
back.
when Clarence Frogman went on there, I was like, what's that song? It must be rights or something, you know. But I thought,
Certainly.
but yeah, so that is my first pick.
That's my first pick.
Excellent.
That's my second pick.
That's my second pick. So we're going to
Right,
Emma.
I've ruined it.
Okay, well, for my second pick, I've got probably quite a popular one. Forrest Gump. What is not to love about the Forrest Gump soundtrack? Honestly, it's literally a history of America from
encapsulates
70s.
It's a historical document.
Yeah.
Oh, you fucking I need to say the C word there because that is such a good pick.
Brilliant.
It's brilliant. It's got anybody who's anybody on there. You've even got Elvis on there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Aretha Franklin, Fleetwood Mac, Creedence Clearwater Revival, you know, Lynyrd Skynyrd, and it's used beautifully. Like one of my favorite scenes, and it sounds really quite morbid, but one of my favorite
I know
scenes
which one you're going to say.
of that whole film, right, is the scene where Jenny she's obviously smacked off her tits, and she's on the balcony, and you know she's about to, what you think is she's going to do. She's about to throw herself off, and it's got that guitar solo from Freebird playing on it. And it just works. It just works beautifully. It really does.
It gets you all trembly.
Yeah,
it
just works.
Freebird only works in a handful of films.
Oh no, Freebird works for everything. Baby.
Freebird is life.
There's two films that come to mind where Freebird works perfectly. That one and Devil's Rejects.
Devil's Rejects.
No,
love that.
Absolutely immense.
Kingsman.
I've not seen it.
Is it in Kingsman? I can't remember it actually being in Kingsman.
It's one when he gets to hit. No, it's in this. It's one where is it the sequel where Samuel L. Jackson's on, where he goes to the church and he basically they turn on the thing where it makes everyone ultraviolet and bring on Freebird.
It is Freebird
assassinating everyone in the church.
It's
one of the greatest scenes ever made. But I got banned in the borough for playing Freebird because I used to play it every day because I loved Freebird.
I mean, it's a great song, but
great. It's long.
To hear it every day.
And what's the other
but at least you're getting your money worth from it in a jukebox.
Stranglehold as well. I used to love. That was another long one with quite a big guitar solo. But yeah, sorry. Going back to Forrest Gump, what a shout! I'm annoyed that I didn't think of it.
I'm surprised you didn't, because I thought if there was one person that was going to have it, it would have been you, Paul Watson.
Not on my list. Didn't think of that one either.
No.
I was reading about I was watching stuff about Forrest Gump the other night. Actually, it's interesting. I know we're talking about soundtracks, but the film in itself, because a big part of the film is his dialect, because they didn't know how they wanted Forrest to talk.
Yeah.
And they got the little boy to talk first, and Tom Hanks used the little boy's dialect.
I heard that. Yeah.
It's on Movies That Made Us, isn't it?
No. I don't think this part is on. It was on the actual, because I watched Tom. I know it sounds really boring. A Tom Hanks biography.
Oh no, that's not boring.
Yeah, I was going through all the films, and because they got the dialect coach on set with them because they were going to try and do it all the way through. And at the first day, the studio panicked. The studio was going to pull Forrest Gump because they thought the film was going to be offensive because the way he spoke. But the whole cast, and the crew within a day were doing impressionates of it as well. So everyone was doing talking like Forrest Gump. So they kind of used it and thought, if it's going to catch on this much with the cast and crew, it's going to blow up big stuff.
But it did.
Did you ever hear how they got the film made? Because the studio went, we're not making this film now, we're pulling out. Tom Hanks and the director had to say, right, you're paying us this much for the film, don't give us the money, put it in the film, we'll take out the royalties. So that's the only way Forrest Gump got made, because they paid for it.
Jesus.
Well, what a payout though.
Exactly.
What a payout.
Yeah,
I didn't realise
that definitely paid off.
From I watched the Movies That Made Us, one of Forrest Gump. Didn't think I was going to learn a lot from it. Just how they made it, kind of thing, and the people that they used to film it. But I didn't realize it was a book.
Yes,
I had no idea it was a book.
Yeah.
There's a sequel. There's a sequel book.
There's
as well.
a sequel to it. I remember
there was a sequel.
There's a really weird memory that I've got of this book. Right, for some reason, it was in my house. but it was like free with something, and it's like Gumpisms, and it was bits like taken from the book, and I was reading, I was like, that's on the fucking film. That's on the fucking film.
Yeah.
He didn't say that in the fucking film, because he said that in the fucking book.
The sequel's about him and his son.
Yeah,
that's all about his son and stuff. But
There was a very, very young Haley Joel Osment in the film.
Oh God!
Just so
Elvis.
tiny.
He was so
wasn't he?
cute. He was so cute as a child, and then he just turned into this.
I really like him. I really
Looks like a
like
thumb.
him.
Oh,
I was going to
Sam.
say he looks like a human version of a sloth.
Oh,
It does look like a
Oh,
sloth.
bloody awful.
Oh, I really like him. The guy who Elvis
I'd
was
see
played.
dead people.
Oh my God! I looked down for a second as well. The guy who played Elvis was Val Kilmer. No, Kurt Russell.
No, wasn't.
It was Val Kilmer or Kurt Russell. It
That
I
was
think-
that was
Val-
in True Romance.
Which one? Then it's the other one. Then
Mhm.
I know who I mean. It was in True Romance. It was
True
Val Kilmer.
Romance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
I know.
I do.
I know.
But yes, like I say, I wish I could dance like Forrest Gump as well. Like when he's teaching
Oh,
Elvis how to
he
dance,
is.
it's brilliant. But he
Like with a
Yeah.
leg.
with
So
the wiggle
I
leg.
think that's another good thing. Like another great thing I think about the film is that it how they incorporate all these things that Forrest is supposed to have taught all these famous people or whatever, and
His
Close to the
influence
wall.
on America.
yeah, like the Watergate
Being
thing and
small.
stuff like that. Like
I
it's
love
just
that scene.
brilliant.
But I think
I love
Kev,
it when he picks the girls' books up.
Yeah,
And I'm just like, a monumental part of history. And he's
Yeah,
like, grab
anything-
your
yeah.
books.
and, all the coverage and all the
Mhm.
scenes with John Lennon and all the
Yeah.
presidents and
Oh,
stuff like that. It's just
Yes.
yeah, but I think
Great.
Kev nailed it the other day when we were talking about this type of thing in the podcast chat. Basically, any film that involved Vietnam had an unbelievable soundtrack.
yeah.
Like because of
Oh,
the time,
God, yeah.
because you could like just name films of that like
That
Good Morning
had
Vietnam, Full Metal Jacket, all had like say good soundtracks as well. And I didn't realize
Tropic
actually
Thunder.
mentioned.
Yeah.
Tropic Thunder does have a really good
I nearly said
I
something
know.
really offensive there. I stopped myself.
No,
So well done.
don't say anything offensive.
Yes.
But no, that's a really
We
good
are
show,
live, so I can't cut it out.
Keep it.
I've learned my lesson. But yes, but honestly, that's stumped as that pick because I think that might actually win the picks that one. So well done there, Emma. So I'm a little bit.
Well, let's just wait. How we've got bloody more to go.
I
True,
know.
but-
I don't want to have picked too early.
Yeah, well, it happens to us all the time. Don't worry.
Ah.
Oh, Nicole's a lucky woman.
She's abandoned us this weekend. She's down London. So yeah, so.
And
But yes, so great pick. So that's Sam's. No, so we're going to Kelly now. Kelly to her second pick.
Mhm.
Yes.
right. Had to mention a Tarantino film.
Oh,
Had to. He is the purveyor of film
Soundtracks.
and music, and
Yeah.
he's just fucking on it.
oh God, if you've picked one of mine,
I'll come back in
it's gonna
5
be hell on.
minutes.
And as I
what's
say,
your
like,
problem?
if I'm the person who's just like, get no picks because I got the picks.
Yeah,
I hope not. But my personal favourite, not the most conventional. I thought that there's an obvious one, but I went with Reservoir Dogs.
Ooh, it's not
Oh
one of
my
mine.
God, yes.
Little
Little green
bug. Mint. I've got here. Homage has to be
Look
paid.
back on the track
and it's
for
just-
a little green bag.
What's mint? The deadpan fucking radio presenter. Hey,
Yes.
Billy, super sounds of the 70s.
It reminds us of Grand Theft Auto. It reminds
Yes.
us of yeah.
Do you know what Little
Mint.
Green Bag reminds me of? Pizzazz. Where there used to be a line of us walking through the dance floor like knobheads.
I have to admit, I know I do shit on Tarantino's films quite a lot. I know it's down to
Stop
preference,
it.
but I absolutely love Reservoir Dogs. It's one of it's probably one or two of his films that I think are worth the accolades he gets.
Mhm.
But the soundtrack from there, from start to finish, is just unbelievable. And like
Yeah.
Kelly, I'll love hear your views on it as well.
Oh, it's absolutely beautiful. It was one of my favourite films, age 10, and me friend who's part of the group, Sharon Smith, it's her fault. We used to watch that at hers, and I remember thinking, if my mum knew I was watching this, she'd gone off it, because it is, it's a lot of blood in it. But I mean, this film has coloured Steelers Whale Stuck in the Middle with You.
Yeah.
You cannot listen to that without thinking of Mr. Blonde cutting off some cop's ear and talking into it. You know what I mean? He tortures someone to such a fucking mint song.
Yeah, and I'm going to flip the thing, because I used to use that song to pull so many lasses up in pizzazz, because every girl used to want to dance to that song. So as soon as it's stuck in the middle of you, you used to dance with a girl and you used to have a couple with them at the end of the night. So it used to be my pulling song, that one.
All of his secrets are coming out tonight.
Yes.
All of them.
Mine was Smack My Bitch Up, because I just used to get on the
course
dance
it
floor
is.
and just start talking up. Anyway, back to this soundtrack, lot. One of my so many favourite songs on it. Fucking Coconut. You put the lime in the coconut bowl. I love that song. Doctor, is there nothing I can take? Said doctor.
To relieve this bellyache.
And that also reminds us. I love it reminds us of Practical Magic.
Yes.
One of my favourite films where they're
When
drinking cocktails.
margaritas.
Yes.
Margarita time.
Margaritas. And also you've got another yet again a track that's used on a series, Hooked on a Feeling. I just think of Ally McBeal's Dancing Baby. Ooga chaka, ooga, ooga, ooga chaka, ooga.
Didn't realise that was on there.
This feeling deep inside. I
did not realise Hooked on a
And of course,
Feeling
Little
was
Green
on there.
Bag. Oh, it is. Oh, it's bloody marvellous. But yeah, so love the soundtrack. Love the film. Fab.
It's so funny though. It's in a weird way, because again, when Mr. Blonde's doing all his shit with a razor and cutting people's ears up and stuff, but you can't help laughing, as you said, because of the music that's behind it and the way he's acting.
The crazy, just the teaming up, such a macabre act.
It's totally improvised as well.
Yeah,
not in the script. Michael Madsen just went for it. He was meant to touch him, but the ear incident that just came later.
It was just awful. You knew when you had all your misters, he was the wrong one.
He was beautiful though in the
he was lush, but he was wrong.
I loved his voice as well. Like he was so gravelly and stuff. Like he can tell he smokes about 15 million fags in a day just to get that type of response.
It's like
Marlboro
Reds. Marlboro Red. Reds. God, triple
be the Reds. Like smoking a car exhaust.
I'm very glad that's your Tarantino pick, because I would have been really pissed if I was missing to go again.
I'm not here to piss anyone. But no, I knew, because the thing is, I could have done any of his films really.
It's true. You could have.
Even the more recent runs that he's done, because he chooses songs that just totally complement his art. It's just art with art.
He's got a good ear.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Totally
so there we go.
agree.
There's my number 2.
Awesome. Cool. I'm gonna go with my number 2. I'm gonna stick with the theme. I'm gonna give you my Tarantino pick. One of my Tarantino picks, actually. It's not my only one on the list.
Got a couple on there, have you?
Got a couple.
Absolutely.
I couldn't decide between 1 and 2.
No,
so I'm just going to go with 1. It is Kill Bill.
And now I've got the tune stuck in my head. So
to be honest, Kill Bill, the first and second, and if anyone who knows is asked what my favorite movie soundtrack is always going to be Kill Bill, because it is absolutely unreal with Nancy Sinatra. In there, man, come on, that song is magic. You've got
you down, bang, bang.
You've got the Green Hornet soundtrack running through it. You've got the Ironside music in there as well with the. But the best part about it is, well, 2 best parts about it is the Ode to Oranishini, when you've got when it changes to anime and you've got that beautiful pan going and through that absolutely gorgeous anime as well. Like the animation in that is absolutely beautiful. But my favorite of songs of all time on this soundtrack is what's it called? Don't Let Me Be Misunderstood.
Don't let me be misunderstood.
Yep, absolutely love it. It is on my movie soundtrack. I had difficulty choosing between the first and second because there's only a couple of songs on the second, and I think the second is more, you can tell he's got Robert Rodriguez helping him with the soundtrack on that one, because Robert Rodriguez likes his guitars.
It was very East versus West at times, like say, with the certain aspects.
Absolutely, couldn't have described it better actually. But yeah, and there's a couple of songs in there I like, but it's always going to be the first one. Always going to be the first one.
She'll get the pictures of Emma in her cosplay when she done like the Go-Go one.
Go-Go Yubari. She's my favourite. My favourite out of all movies ever.
She is fab. I remember when I used to do burlesque, I was really good at like choosing songs to go with routines, and I remember my friend Lucy wanted to do a go-go routine, so it started coming on as a cute little, kind of, I'm turning Japanese,
Japanese schoolgirl,
schoolgirl, but she couldn't think of a song to do like the strip to, and I was just like, right, the Kill Bill song. She's like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
And she did like a kind of strip where she had like the spiky ball, and she's taking clothes off while swinging the spiky ball. But at first she was just like, oh, this sounds a bit porny. I went, no, it's going to work. And it did.
To be fair though, it's burlesque. Do you not want it to sound a bit porny?
I know.
It's not.
I went back with the market burlesque. It was like the fucking upmarket. Yeah.
Also, sorry, Kelly.
No, you're all right. No,
I was just going to say the band that came out of nowhere, Woohoo.
5, 6, 7, 8.
5, 6, 7, 8, yes. With Woohoo, yep. They kind of exploded a bit after that, and then
yes,
it's that tune that plays throughout, that with the whistle, that whistle tune that just gets stuck right in your head, and then
the
next thing you know, you're asleep at 3 o'clock in the morning, you wake up and you've got that in your head.
Then you've got the picture of Elle Driver looking over the top of you, and you're like, oh yeah. Yes, really awesome soundtrack. Couldn't not pick it because it is my absolute all-time favorite. I've even got Uma, the bride, staring at me right now. She's just behind me. In her yellow suit.
To be honest, Sam, you were the reason I didn't put that on my list, because I knew you'd pick it, and I thought, I'm not going to pick it because Sam will say it anyway, so it's fine.
Yes, it is my all-time favorite. One of my I just love it. I think I love the soundtrack probably more than I love the film. Then very close, because the film is brilliant.
Yeah, it is.
Really good. But that's my second pick.
Cool. So am I allowed to lower the tone yet?
Always.
What are you eating, by the way?
Haribo. So, sorry, I need to get something. I've had no tea, so I've had nothing.
2 seconds.
But yes, I'll wait till Emma comes back so I can.
I've got cherries.
We'll lower the tone a little bit here, because this film is probably when it came out was probably every teenage boy's shall we say soggy sock?
You're lowering the tone that way, right? I thought you were like, we'll go on sad. Okay.
No, I'm going all filthy with this one.
Oh, right, okay.
Like I said, this was probably my teenage awakening, and probably, I know it sounds, again, I do apologise if this is going to freak anyone out. This is probably the most, it doesn't have any nudity or anything, but the film I wanked off to more ever than any film in a long time.
Never felt closer to you than I have right now.
So with bands
you're a long time, and now I'm extra close to you.
So with bands like Placebo, Fatboy Slim,
Blur, oh my god, I know what it is.
Skunk and Nancy, and Faithless and more, and The Verve.
Oh, I'm just getting this. Penny's just dropped.
Oh, where's Sam?
What a film! Like I said, this came out of nowhere.
Can I just ask, was there a particular part in the film that was your wanking choice?
Spittle string.
Was
it a particular part where they were maybe in the park?
No, actually,
2 females.
To be fair though, that one was a bit over-egged. I think it was when Sarah Michelle Gellar turned around to Ryan Phillips and said you can put it anywhere.
Oh, okay. So you're more of a subtle kind of wanker. Okay.
Yes. But yeah, but like I say,
soundtrack, like
when that film came out, unbelievable. Like I say, from the opening bars, like I say, from Nancy Boy to like say the track that gets played all the way through, like the Verve urban like themes.
Yeah.
Everything hits the notes from like Fatboy Slim. It was Praise Me, I think, wasn't it? I could be wrong. Yeah, Praise You, and Coffee and TV, like I say. And again, this was a film that didn't come out in the pictures. I think it came straight to DVD.
No, it did. It did go to the pictures because tell you what, they didn't let me in.
Right. Okay.
I was 11.
Right.
No wonder.
So might be a reason why then.
Fucking wait for it, right? Me and my mate Laura Kelly and Helen Wilson. Right, we all went to Bolden Cinema, and it was at 12, and I was like, shit the bed, I need to get into this, like. So I remember wearing one of me Morgan tops and a long skirt, me glittery lip gloss, me hair glitter, right? And they said, you got any ID? We didn't get in. Laura Kelly was like, I've already seen it. I'll tell you exactly what happens. And they were like, no, you're not getting in. And I was like, fuck this shit. I think we ended up going to see a cartoon. It was fucking ridiculous. Because me and Laura Kelly, we used to love Buffy, and we're like, fuck off, Buffy's in a film. And she'd already seen, she went, oh my God, guys, you need to see this. And I'm like, oh my God, let's go. Let's get our glitter and our 90s. Didn't get it.
Buffy just wasn't in a film. Buffy was a completely different person.
Yeah.
Different person.
I'm surprised her career didn't take off more after this film, because the performance she put out was absolute as mega bitch. Like ultimate twat that you would ever see in a film. Like, you can't help but hear that.
When I have like, I turn to God, it was like, it's your cocaine.
She was
got your little spoon.
She was literally like, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but for me, I think she was literally the girl that everybody our age at that time wanted to be.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Nobody is going to fuck with me, that kind of almost like a strong woman. I know she has had, comeuppance at the end, but she had that kind of strong.
It was a strength that we urged for as quite timid, shy people. Yeah. She almost gives us a vibe of Nancy from The Craft.
Yes.
Like that kind of like strength, like but she borderlined it into bitchiness. But just if you go just beyond the border,
just slightly in the psychopathic.
Yes.
Yeah, it was that confidence. She exuded this confidence.
Confidence, that's the word.
Yeah. And but as you say, she does get her comeuppance at the end, because she was a fucking knob. Because she was really, kind of manipulative and awful. But she deserved what she got at the end. Like bloody hell, because she
got a friend. Look,
we've got a kitty. Hi, Slash. Oh, he does not look happy.
Oh, he's never fucking happy.
But yeah,
spawn of Satan.
Everyone in this film was just absolutely beautiful, from Ryan Philippe.
I
know Reese Witherspoon was pregnant during this film as well, because that was
Ryan Philippe.
Yeah,
because having his baby.
Because that was a lot of the scenes what was done in the water, so they could hide the bump in the swim pool. Salma Blair looked absolutely stunning.
Love that woman.
And for such a small cast, it did have quite a punch and impact. And again, I know I made it creepy at the start, so I do apologise, but this was a teenage boy's wet dream.
Hey, you were just being honest. Like, this is what we're trying to do. We build a community of honesty.
Pacey from Dawson's Creek was in it, and all.
Joshua Jackson,
really fucking shit hair.
Yeah.
Oh, was that the bleach moment?
Bleach blonde moment, yeah.
Oh, what was he?
And Daniel Meade from Ugly Betty, he was in it too.
Ah, right.
Fucking me.
I still can't get over Joshua Jackson's hair at the minute.
Oh.
Yes. But like I say, when you think of like songs that films that you can hear the songs to, just on like the beats or the moments in it, it takes you back, and especially with us being around about the age when these songs came out, and probably hitting like Nancy Boy was such a iconic and like say a meaningful song for me as well, because like say that was the time when I didn't have to act a certain way or be the certain person that like say when I was around friends groups who try to make me to be someone I kind of wasn't. It was kind of like the blossoming, shall we say. Is
that around the time you met us?
Hopefully not, but around about.
It's going to be nice, eh?
But certainly,
bloody hell.
I can't be too nice as well. So.
Best thing that ever happened to you, Watson, was meeting us lot. Look where you are now.
Yes.
King of the Nerds.
King of the Nerds.
King of the Nerds. I've got the
I've got a
T-shirt.
fucking crown, what you talking about?
I've got the T-shirts there. Yes. So
Excellent choice.
Yeah, I agree.
Bravo.
So back to Emma.
Right, well, it's my third choice, and I know for a fact nobody else is going to have this one.
All right.
Well, nobody that I'm speaking to right now. I know there may be other people in Nerdy Up North that'll have it. Kevin and Perry.
Oh,
absolute bangers.
I do think someone picked. I think
big
someone
girls,
picked it.
big girls.
Yeah, takes me back to being a teenager.
Yeah.
And I'm talking, 15, 16-year-old going out, underage drinking, listening to all these, trancy dance tunes, and like it was just such a better time for me. You know what I mean? I was free of responsibility. I was just getting started in me young adulthood or whatever.
Mhm.
And I'm not going to lie, at heart, I am a trans girl. I love it.
That went
We all
over
know
my
that.
I didn't watch it.
No, I didn't
it was I was
Honestly, what's this song they create where is it big girls, big girls?
All I want to do is do it. Big girl, big girl.
girls. That's
Big
it.
girl, big girl, big girl, big girl, big girl, big
Reece.
girl.
I think a lad, Stephen Mullen, posted that Kevin Perry Enlarged would be in one of his top 5 because
It's just brilliant.
I think it was very of the time, shall we say?
Yeah, absolutely. But
I think I was a
still
couple of
watch it.
years out of that time. Like it
I
was
still watch
totally
it now.
bypassed my generation. I went
I'd
straight
watch
from
it
like
now.
pop to grunge.
and I would
Gotcha.
quite happily listen to all those tunes. Now, in fact, I was this afternoon while I was working, and I was having me a bit rave while I was working from home today.
Is that what you're referring to?
Ah.
I get you now.
I think it was like very 90s. Like if you were there and you enjoyed that type of music, it was there. But like I said, it's an entertaining film. It's daft as a brush.
Oh yeah.
Reece Evans decided not to take drinks anymore and putting vodka in his eyeball.
Recent fines.
Eyeball
Reece
Paul.
Evans, sorry, Reece Eyeball Paul. That was the call.
Eyeball Paul.
I think you'll find it Reece fans because he's Welsh,
Mhm.
ladies and
See,
gentlemen.
I always call him Reece Ithans.
I call him reset in fines because that's what it says.
If fans, it's
Evans.
IFA.
Yes, Evans, because he's a Welsh person, isn't he?
Let's just call him Reese.
Mm-hmm.
Let's call him the
Anyway,
lizard. The
Eyeball
lizard.
The lizard.
To Doc Connors.
Brilliant choice, Emma. Really cool choice. I am not
Interesting,
a trans-
very different choice.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
It fits well with my very, 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 very eclectic taste in
You
music.
really do.
Like
Oh.
my playlist will literally go from, Barbara's Adagio for strings to Metallica to Avenged Sevenfold, and then to something like Little Mix or something like. Literally, that's how eclectic it gets for me.
Don't you like what's that rave song called? Is
I
it
like
Children-
loads of rave songs.
is it
Children of the Night.
yes.
Forever Young.
Forever Young.
Oh,
my
Children of the
God.
I remember dancing like a bastard with a dummy
Absolutely
in
all of them.
Annabelle's Nappy Night to that.
Sounds like something Emma would do.
Now, yeah.
To be
Yes.
fair, we went in Nappy Night. We were too young to be in Annabelle's, but it wasn't Nappy Night.
Oh, it was,
Oh.
yeah.
Best nightclub I ever went underage drinking in.
Same. Idols, then
Great times.
Annabelle's.
Yeah. Great times.
Yes. We're not dodgy up north at all, are we? But yeah.
We totally are.
Oh, everybody does it underage drinking, man. Show me one person who doesn't.
So on back to lovely Sammy.
Is it?
Is that not Kelly?
It's
Kelly,
Kelly.
sorry. Missing points now. Sorry. You can
Oh,
fill
yeah,
up.
right. Right. This is a little bit of a wild one. Love the soundtrack. Thought the film was shit. Choice. Yeah. This soundtrack I absolutely love. I listen to so much, but I thought the film was a bag of cack. Marie Antoinette.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Oh, I've never
Right.
seen it.
Right.
Kirsten Dunst, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, I remember someone saying, "Hey, Kelly, you love it." And I watched it and I was like, "What the fuck?"
Hey, Kelly, I didn't.
And I was like, "No, I didn't." I did like the cinematography, like the beautiful
Does look
opulence
beautiful.
of kind of the period. But it was the soundtrack that did it for me. I watched it purely because the soundtrack had me absolutely in awe. I've always been meaning to revisit the film because I think when I watched the film, it was a few years after it had come out, and it just, as I say, it didn't appeal to us. But I I remember going to fucking Music Zone and buying the double
Oh my
CD
God.
soundtrack.
Music Zone.
Yeah.
And it's a double CD of amazingness. Like two of the songs I used for my wedding.
Oh.
And one is was it Aphex Twin Avril 14th, and it's like a little instrumental piano. Do 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 do. Do, 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 do. And that was the bit where we were signing our names and that. That was our music for that. And then when we left the building, it was playing songs The Cure.
Yes.
Did we all have music soundtracks in our wedding? Because you did, Emma.
I had quite a few different ones. I had True Romance for me aisle music.
Oh, I cried my eyes out when that hit.
Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
Oh, did you?
Somewhere over the rainbow.
Oh, lush.
Well, I had somewhere the Izzy, what you call them, version of Somewhere Over the Rainbow for when we were walking back out of the
I was out
the
of
ceremony.
I was straight out of that building because I was from the minute we woke up to the minute I went home. I didn't cry. I cried the whole way through her wedding. It was just beautiful.
You've seen now like it. She
Honestly,
didn't even cry at her own bloody wedding. She bawled like a baby at mine.
I did not shed one tear at my own wedding, but at hers, even a mum's like talking to us, and I'm like, will you stop it, man? Just couldn't stop myself. But the whole music in Emma's wedding was just fantastic. Sorry, Kelly, you were saying.
Yari, didn't worry. We're talking about music, it's all good. But yet again, this is a mix of the edgy, because obviously, you know, we're talking about a historical kind of rendition film. It's got this just edgy sort of, you've got Bow Wow Wow, Aphrodisiac. You got Aphrodisiac. Oh, I love that song. You've got Susie and the Banshees.
Oh, nice.
Hong Kong God. Oh, class. I'm sure Adamant's on there, but then you've got like orchestral.
I think it was. Yeah, because it was quite a period piece, but they used modern type music with it as well.
Does that work? Because I sometimes find it takes you out of it.
No, it works. It works.
Okay.
Right,
Kelly is really passionate about it.
I'm really passionate about it because it's leading up to my next choice as well. But you've got the orchestral instrumentals with more modern stylings, because you had the Strokes in there. I wanna be forgotten. And New Order Ceremony is on there as well, which is just.
I haven't seen that film at all.
Me neither.
Do you know what? Didn't fucking bother. Just listen to the
just
soundtrack.
listen to the soundtrack. Okay.
Because it's just fucking mint. It just what I kind of rate things on the tremble scale. If it makes us tremble,
yes.
Mint. This is
totally
tremble-tastic.
I understand that scale.
I understand that scale as well. Because you're a fan as well, aren't you, Kelly, like me, of is it how's it pronounced? Is it Hopopola?
Oh God, Sigur Rós. When I went to see them, I mean, I was pissed because I remember I was with. Are you surprised? I was with my fiance, right? My ex-fiance, and because when we were meant to get married, that was going to be our wedding song.
It's brilliant.
Anyway, and when we went to see them, and as I say, I was a little bit, and I remember just listening, and the music was just washing me, and I was just like in this kind of drunken, euphoric. I actually thought I was high, and I wasn't. But it was just this music was washing over. I even closed my eyes, and I was like this.
But yeah, that's what you mean, isn't it?
I was off me tits
by the tremble factor.
Yeah.
That's what you mean by the tremble factor, though. That
like,
song is just pure.
Oh, every song. Oh, and he was standing there, the singer, with all these fucking feathers on him. I'm like, you mad Icelandic twat. You are amazing. You are epic. I love you. But yeah, so I've told you about my tremble meter. So that was my number 3, Marie Antoinette.
Awesome.
Well Shit done. Film, great songs.
awesome pick. I think I'll get this one out of the way for my next one, because it's my second Tarantino pick. And my last Tarantino pick.
Thank God.
Oh yeah, shut up. It has honestly, the soundtrack is brilliant. Even if you don't like the film, just listen to the soundtrack. It's 2007's Death Proof, part of the Grindhouse.
Yes. I'll let you
Double
off. I do apologise. Yes. That is a brilliant.
I'll accept that apology.
Haven't seen it.
I mean, Alexis just turned on because I said that apology.
I remember watching that film with my ex-partner, and he went, is this just birds talking about shagging? Because it is.
Yeah, pretty much. In a way, it's absolutely brilliant.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, it is. It's
Literally one of the only ones I haven't seen.
It's part of the Grindhouse double feature with Planet Terror. Watch that.
Love Planet Terror.
I love Planet Terror. It's brilliant. I don't know why I haven't seen.
The mention parts of, I mean, the twins, they're in, you can see them briefly in Death Proof. And also the mentioned Jungle Julia. They say rest in peace to Jungle Julia.
Yeah.
And she's from the first group of girls in Death Proof. I watched it today because I absolutely adore this film. The songs in it are class. I did make a list just to make sure I covered off what I love about it. One of the best parts I loved, and I never really picked up on it until today, was T-Rex playing on the jukebox, which is great. But then all of a sudden, this like romantic, like almost, I don't know, like 70s music like kicks in.
Yeah.
And then T-Rex just like lovingly comes back in again. It's just brilliant way how you did it.
It's a nice flow type thing to this one. I think, again, I joke on that Tarantino's a pile of shit, but he's not.
He's not.
He does have a way with music, and he does always think of, like, even if the film's not to my taste, he'll bring.
You can appreciate the music.
Sides. Like, even Pulp Fiction is one of the worst films I've ever seen.
But it's got a fantastic soundtrack.
But the soundtrack is just unbelievable. But Death Proof, because like the tone of the songs match with the tone of the film, like all the way through. And
sorry, Paul. Go on.
And when it kicks into like the point of the film as well, that's when the ramps up the music as well, and it takes you on that journey.
Yeah, Hold Tight by, I've got it written down here to make sure I got them right. Dave D, Dozy, Beaky, Mitch and Titch. Hold Tight is one of my favourite songs ever. It's on my playlist. I feel like an absolute god when I'm driving in my car and that song comes on, because it's the moment of that song plays, the moment of the impact. And it's just, you've got Kurt Russell in his death-proof vehicle riding across the road, and that song's playing in the background, and it's like, yes, I feel like a pure god with it. Also another song I absolutely adore, which is Down in Mexico. That's another one that's on my playlist. That's, she does her striptease dance thing with Kurt Russell to that song. Then you've got obviously the twins in the background dancing away. And Baby It's You. When I can't remember her name, but it's Sidney Poitier's daughter. I think she is called Cindy Poitier, and her long beautiful hair is just swaying, like she's headbanging basically to Baby It's You, and her hair goes beautiful with every beat of the song. It's just fantastic. It's a brilliant film, and it's an amazing soundtrack.
Cool.
Yeah, you have it. Death Proof.
So, if you're happy for me to move on to my next
bit. Not much more I can say about that. Apart from Chick Habit, end of the film. Excellent song.
Chick Habit. Woohoo!
This was going to be my last pick until
Who ruined it?
No. until I realised what was my top pick. And I'm leaving that one to last because no one will have thought about it, no one will have expected. This one, I couldn't do a top 5 music list without mentioning this film.
Go on then.
Because it's all about top 5s. High Fidelity.
Oh, yes.
I haven't actually seen it either.
I believe when I fall in love with you, it'll be forever, ever.
I'll be honest, the film hasn't aged well when it comes to stalker and ex-partners and stuff like that. It's very
terrible.
creepy. It's very
terrible.
Yep.
It's really, yes, I love the film. Me and my sister used to watch this film. We love John Cusack. He's my material.
Right.
John Cusack, be still my loins. All right. He is fucking lush.
My God.
Absolutely lush. Oh.
So why do you love it, Paul?
It's simply like, say, when you think about the music, like if you like music soundtracks, like say, I know what one of Emma's going to pick. I've got coming along. It's like say a similar type of feel where the music takes you on a journey. Like say, like just to name some of the bands, it's got The Jam, Barry
Nice.
White, The Velvet Underground, Aretha Franklin, Elvis Costello on the attractions, Bob Dylan, The Kinks, and the wonderful Stevie Wonder. And to finish it off, with the time we found out that Jack Black can fucking sing.
Oh, is this
Oh,
when you
my
first hear him sing?
Yes.
Do-do-do.
Yeah.
I feel sugar. It's French.
Yeah, when he sings "Let's Get It On" is
Let's
absolutely
get it on.
mind blowing, and seeing it because he sang it live as well,
Yeah.
and it's
amazing.
absolutely pitch perfect and beautiful. And seeing John Cusack's reaction, I don't know if it was his real reaction.
Do you know
or
what?
if
I
it-
honestly think it fucking was, you know, because
Yeah.
he's literally like,
yeah, it's like, what the fuck's going on? But say, absolutely amazing. Like, fuck School of Rock. School of Rock was good, but this is a film that made Jack Black for what he can do. And again,
Amazing.
like I said, that's where Tenacious D came from. I hope, but
What a film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a film.
But just from start to finish, like I said, A Town Called Malice by the Jam,
Oh,
man, it's Rocksteady by Aretha Franklin,
Yeah.
like
walking on sunshine.
Walking
When
on
he's gone
Sunshine.
mad and
Yeah.
fucking
And
shot.
that's- Walking on sunshine, whoa!
But when that man comes in for that CD for his daughter, what's the song? And he's like, is she in a coma?
Yeah, it's
She doesn't want that. What
Yeah,
are you talking about?
it's good. You clearly don't know your daughter, and it's good. We're trying to sell records here. It's good.
Was
Oh,
it
sorry,
I just called to say I love you? Or what?
I call that here.
And it's just like one of the songs that I love Bob Dylan most of the time.
Mhm.
And I love this whole idea when they said, is it better to burn out or fade away? Because you can argue with Stevie Wonder, his later stuff was shit. But I love, I believe, that is amazing. And I really like the fact that it introduced you to new bands. So it had the beta band, Dry the Rain. And you've also got her out of Roseanne. She's there, the daughter.
Darlene.
Sarah Gilbert.
Yeah.
And
Sarah.
what doesn't she say? She likes Green Day, and he puts on like a tune for her, and I can't think.
It's a
Is
band
this
that's
the new Green Day?
and they're like it got the little in jokes. But even the relationships to music, like say, we've built a podcast on top fives.
Yeah.
And this is what the film, like everything that dropped, kind of like top five breakups, top five like musics to
Start
listen
start
to
a
on a
conversation off.
listen to on a Monday morning and build the conversation and go from that. So us doing the podcast always does remind us of this film as well. So it's kind of like this film is like the podcast spirit animal in a way.
Lovely.
Oh, that's lovely. That I think Ant likes that film. I might watch it.
I haven't
It's
seen
brilliant.
it either.
No, it's brilliant. Like I say, if you're ever going through a bad breakup, it's perfect because
I hope I don't.
Everyone's had a breakup in the past, though. Everyone knows what that feeling is, and they're going through the despair. There's this desperation, like you say.
What does it mean? Thing why did all these relationships fail? And he thinks it's all them doing it to him. And when he talks to them, it was like, it was fucking you. And he's like, shit, yeah, it was me. And it's just that realization that he's a cock. And he's treating people like shit, and he needs to stop treating people like shit. You know what I mean? It's just like, I love it, and I love him. I think he's just like fucking mint, and his own record shop. He's sitting there smoking, and he's fucking shot. It's just a lush film.
What was the last thing John Cusack actually did?
He done the Cell not too long ago, like a Stephen King remake, but I think he's recovered after the Hot Time.
What was that one?
Hot Tub Time Machine and stuff like that.
Was
it Imitation or something like that? No, what was it called?
There was one that was called Room 14 or something.
Yeah.
That was a good one. That was a good film.
I didn't mind that.
Yeah.
Wasn't he meant to do The Raven or something?
Connor. It was fucking mint and Connor.
That was like the 90s, though, Kelly.
Fucking mint. Just need to mention.
But,
what do you mean? Is it not the 90s now?
Yes.
Yes,
sorry, my
Kelly,
teens.
Yes, it is.
I'm going back to the 90s with me bloody friggin'
I've
fashion
noticed
sense
with
and shit.
your latest Instagrams.
Yeah, but the point I was making about the John Cusack character, like when it goes for a breakup, we all go through the emotions of like the desperation, the need that you want the person back. Then you go, oh fuck them, I don't want them back. it takes it to the extremes in this film where it goes. It's even got Tim Robbins as a weird guy upstairs, but yeah.
He thinks about him having sex with his ex, down, and it's just like it's a total porn thing. It's got like drapes in the background and the going like this.
But it is
ever having.
But the film is actually based on a British book. Nick Hornby,
Yes,
I
it
think
is.
was.
Nick Hornby.
I knew that. I felt like,
And
I know that.
He does write some very good books, and they translate very well into films.
Mhm.
A lot of them.
I think
But,
I'll add it to the list. Add it to my
definitely.
90s list.
It has to be on the list. Like I say, especially if it's a film about lists. On
I
a
do
list.
have a list. I do really have a list of movies that I've not seen. I'll add it to the list.
I bet it's huge because
It's
you haven't
massive.
seen fucking anything.
No. It's massive. It is a big list.
Every time I talk to Sam, I'm like, "Have you seen this?" No.
No.
Not
Shocker.
If we're not talking about Ghostbusters, there's no point in having a conversation.
That was another film that nearly made the list, but didn't
Nearly
quite
made
make-
mine as well, but I was like, no, I've used it far too many times. It's
Mhm.
time to remove Ghostbusters from the list. But yeah, that's a good choice. I will add it to my list. Who's next?
It's Emma.
Emma.
Yeah, I believe it's me. And I think this one may have made your list, Sam, and I'll be very surprised if it hasn't. But I'm going with Empire Records.
You are
Knew it.
wrong.
Knew
You
you
were
would do.
wrong because I knew you would pick this one. So I was like, no, I ain't. I ain't going Sugar High tonight.
Ah,
But
that's
that's
a nap.
Yeah.
No way.
But that's one that has kind of reference to, like I say, High Fidelity. It's the same type of good feel, like
Yeah,
music wise. It's
it's
just
It's
manic.
class.
It's like
Um,
it's one of those films where like I know it's like it's ingrained in our friendship.
Yeah, it
Like
is. Yeah.
completely ingrained in our friendship. So I knew it was one I could not. There was this and Detroit Rock City. I couldn't put on the
yeah.
list.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
The reason I didn't pick Detroit Rock City was the same reason I didn't pick anything like
'Cause
The
it's a kiss-
Dirt
it's just
or
a
anything
kiss.
like that, because it's just,
Kiss.
it's, yeah,
Yeah.
it's not. It's to me, it's not a soundtrack that was built up
Mhm.
for that film. Do you know what I mean? It's
I have broken that rule because one of my picks does have something like that.
because otherwise I would have went for The Dirt, and obviously it would have been all about Motley Crue.
Yes, exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh, Emma.
Happy Rexman in there.
Yeah.
Oh, Rexy,
You're so sexy. Say no more, money more.
Looking for
And-
kisses, baby. Je t'adore. Mwah.
And controversially, Sugar High, I fucking love that song. And on the actual official soundtrack, it hasn't got Renee Zellweger singing on it.
Right.
Controversially, I think it sounds better
It does.
with her bits in it.
'Cause
Like, it's a good song, but
He
it
is
sounds
the
better
band,
with her in
isn't
it.
he? The
Yeah,
guy who's
it's is
his
it
band.
Coyote
Coyote Summer or something?
Shivers?
Shimmer?
I want to say
It's got
Coyote
an
Shivers.
S. It's got an S in there. Ant would know. He loves the soundtrack to
Yeah.
that.
Hasn't it got that? What's it
Gwa.
called? Gwa, whatever they're
Gwa.
called.
Yeah,
Wow.
Gwa.
Gwa in
Why
it.
don't you come and join us?
it's
Join
like-
our band.
It's got one of my like favorite songs from growing up. It reminds me of my mum a lot. And it was the song by the Gin Blossoms.
Mhm.
Oh,
Is
oh my
it,
God! It's one of Ant's favorite songs.
what's it called?
Till
Till I Hear It From You or something like that.
I hear it from
Yeah.
you. Yes.
I remember like when it was released, that was one of many, many, many songs that my mum used to play repeatedly on a loop.
It's so 90s.
Yeah.
It's so 90s. It's such a it's part of they almost look like part of the grunge era, but they're really not.
Yeah.
It has one of the greatest lines in that film ever. Empire Records, open till midnight. This is Mark.
What time is
Midnight. I just love that line. Oh, I'm so happy you picked this.
It's a
I'd have been
great
really
film.
disappointed if one of us hadn't picked
And
it.
well, I thought you were going to, so I almost didn't. When I thought, well, we're gonna have one the same, surely. But then you didn't anyway, so it's all
I
good.
didn't because I knew fine well you were going to.
Spent way too much time with each other, Sam.
Too much.
To be fair, like I say, that was on the telly or on, like say,
On the
on the video on VHS. I think I had it as well. So Jesus Christ, yeah.
I had it.
I actually watched it a couple of weeks ago because I think it's on like Amazon Prime or something, I think.
Is it?
I was like, I've got to watch it.
Oh, I love it. Even Robert Turney doesn't do me head in this film.
I've noticed Kelly's a little bit quiet. Have you seen this one, Kelly?
No.
You've not seen Empire Records. Of all the people, I honestly thought you would have seen it. It is so up your street.
That's your homework for tonight, Kelly.
I've written it down on my notebook.
Thank you.
Empire Records. That is your homework.
Kelly,
Get
you
it
are
watched.
going to love it. It's
Let
so,
us know what you think.
It's
You know
so
what? I'm quite
90s.
excited because it is like, you know, I've been introduced to so many like new things because of this community, and I am like secretly like, I'm saying nothing. I know I will not be judged, but deep down,
Oh
I
my
am
God,
judging
no.
myself.
You are going to
Not
love it
going
for the fashion. If nothing else,
Oh,
the
you will love
fashion
it.
will get you so.
Yeah.
How
Fucking
mint
love the
does
90s
Liv
fashion,
Tyler
man.
look in
Liv
there,
Tyler
man?
looks phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like,
Phenomenal.
oh my God.
And
I mean, I know
Renée
she's
Zellweger's
young,
real
but-
face.
Yeah, before she had loads of work done. And she's got an amazing singing voice as well, which
She
is something
really
that you don't
does.
really ever see.
Mm.
Apart from Chicago, obviously Chicago. She was pretty
I didn't think she was as good in Chicago as she was
She's
in
got-
this, because she
she's
was
got-
just raw in this.
Well, she got very outshone by Catherine Zeta-Jones in Chicago, though, because she's
Yeah.
fucking brilliant.
But you can tell she worked for that. She
Mhm.
worked on her vocals for it. But when it
Oh,
came
yeah.
down to Sugar High, she did
She
that
just
raw.
went, it was just went.
That was just her
Yeah.
voice, and it was
Yeah,
phenomenal.
and it was good.
And it's such a
Yeah.
brilliant end to the film.
It
Ending
is.
on that. That's not the song you end on, but
Mhm.
that's the one that you kind of like. Oh, yay!
Mhm.
Everything's all good in the world.
It gives you that happy,
Yes.
fluffy
Fuzzy
feeling,
feeling.
doesn't it? That gives you the warm and fuzzies.
Kelly, I honestly want to hear your opinion once you see it, because
Me too.
you are going to fucking love it.
I'm quite excited.
You are living
I
this
can't-
90s
I
fantasy
actually
at the moment. You're going
can't
to love
wait.
it.
I hope she hates it. Just
No,
for the hilarity.
Can't hate it.
There's,
I can hear it.
there's nothing about this film you can hate. Nothing.
It is a cheese fest at times, but
It
it is
is.
a
Oh, I
fun.
love
It's a fun
cheese.
cheese
But
fest.
who doesn't like a good cheese fest every now and again?
It's,
You,
it's, a,
you
it-
need cheese.
Unless you're
Everybody needs a
lactose
bit of
intolerant.
cheese.
Who
it's, a,
doesn't?
it's kind of like a toned down Mallrats.
Meh, I said, yeah.
It is and it
mm,
isn't. Yeah.
Yeah. Who doesn't want to run around the shopping centre shouting shoplifter at the top
Yeah.
of your lungs, just see who reacts?
Yeah. And chase them down the street.
Exactly. Ah, that is such a good choice.
Cool. So
Yeah.
we're on to Kelly's second from last pick now.
Kelly!
Yeah, right. Okay. I went with the last soundtrack I bought.
Mm-hmm.
And this is another. I was going to choose another soundtrack by a person who directed that film as well, but I thought no, because I do actually like this one a little bit more, and it's something that like speaks to me a bit more, and it is
So intrigued.
Baz Luhrmann's The Great Gatsby.
Oh my God, yes.
I've never
Fuck
seen
me.
it.
Oh my
I
God.
absolutely love everything that Baz Luhrmann does. He
He's great.
can do
Cracking.
no wrong in my eyes. And
Cracking.
you know, even with soundtracks and stuff as well, like he can do no wrong.
As I say, I had another one in my mind to do, which a lot of people mentioned, but I decided to go with this because I do think The Great Gatsby doesn't get enough recognition that it should.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Leonardo DiCaprio should have got his fucking Oscar for that, because he was fucking tremendous. I'm a huge appreciator of American modernism in literature. I did English as a degree, and when we did the bit on American modernism, I was introduced to, you know, Hemingway and F. Scott Fitzgerald, who is just, his works have changed my life. I've got F. Scott Fitzgerald and his wife tattooed on my feet.
I knew
That's really
that.
cool.
I thought you were going to say, to be fair with Kelly, I thought you were going to say your foofs there when you said the F. I was like,
Feet. They're on
Do
the
you
top
honestly
of my
think you
feet.
do you think you should sim it down and say foof? Because I don't think she would.
No.
Flange. Anyway, yes. My husband's just messaged and said the band's in bed, can you keep it down? I've got foof and flan and flan and flan. Anyway, I remember, because I used to teach The Great Gatsby as an English literature teacher, and when I heard they were going to do Baz Luhrmann was going to do The Great Gatsby, I was like, fuck me sideways. I cannot fucking wait to see what he does with this, because I remember playing The Great Gatsby with Robert Redford in. Oh, it was fucking shit. He was too cool. Gatsby had to be shit, I'm gonna get caught. So he had to have that like kind of coolness of, oh yes, old sport, but then like be like, shit, I'm going to get found out because I'm a fraud. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He didn't have that
Almost
kind of
kind
like
of caution.
yeah, that nervous energy, you know. But as I say, when this came out, he created Baz. Seriously, it's like he went into me noggin, God help him, and he just saw what I thought it should have been like, and he did it. The opulence of the 1920s, stupefying. The failure of the American dream, the materialism of a lost generation who just, they're told that if you've got money, you've got it all. And you've got these people aspiring for that. And it turns out, do you know what? Nah, money's not everything. But unfortunately, the people who've got money get away with a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which is, you know, it just really, it's fucking beautiful.
Do you know what, Kelly? The way you've just described it there, I want to watch it. I'm on a close tomorrow. I'm going to watch it tomorrow night. I've never seen it, but it is so up my street if it's from the 20s. Like,
but visually it's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
I've seen clips of it. Is it got Kate Blanchett in it, or am I thinking of something else? Is
no,
that the Aviator?
No, that's Aviator.
Aviator, right? It's
got a blonde lass, but I don't know. But it's got him out of Warrior, and he was in a few things. He's like he normally plays like an Irish actor as well. But
I mean, I've seen the meme of DiCaprio with the glass, so I kind of get an inkling of what I'm facing. But honestly, 1920s, Emma knows my love of the 20s. So yeah, I want to watch it tomorrow night.
When I went to the pictures to see it, I went in full 1920s garb.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
And it was the first like showing that night, and me and my ex-partner, we had mint juleps, which is what they drink. We had them before we went. And we went to see it, and I had a black turban on, and I had a black dress with pearls, like a pearl harness bodice thing, and I was like just like
a flapper.
Yeah, look, fucking mint.
You've just described what my sister wears on a day-to-day occasion.
It's the point that you made before about when you previously picked. They used modern music for this.
Yes, that's what I was kind of leaving.
Oh, sorry there.
That
point there, Paul.
But does it work though with the 20s?
Perfect.
Right, I've got here.
Perfect.
The modern choices should have felt out of place, but they don't. Similar to Marie Antoinette, there's an eclectic mix of your modern songs, but with the 20s twist. It shouldn't work. It really fucking shouldn't work, but it does. And it blows your mind that it does, and it doesn't feel out of place. It feels like it works, and it almost gives us that idea of like history being cyclical, fashions coming back, and whatnot.
Because it does.
I think because they changed the tone of the songs and stuff to fit with this 50s, and so something actually sitting there. I know it sounds ridiculous. It's like you listen to a Richard Cheese song and you're trying to work out what song he's singing about. But
I love Richard Cheese.
But these songs, you're like, so you're trying to sing. Is that Beyonce or is that Jay-Z? And it's
right, I get you.
It's was it? Have you heard? Is it modern? What they call modern jukebox?
Oh, the postmodern jukebox.
Yes,
I saw them at the Sage, and I danced like a bastard.
But they do that kind of same thing, though, don't they? It's the modern music, you know, in a kind of 20s style. It's brilliant.
Oh, it's amazing. It was mine and my husband's second date.
Oh, that's class. That's a brilliant second date.
That's awesome.
He had a spare ticket. He was like, "Do you want to go?" And I was like, "Yeah."
Hell yeah.
Oh, but that's on my list. Is
that when you knew you were going to marry him?
I actually did. I was just like, "Oh my god!" I think I knew I was going to marry him when we went to what was it? Screen Age Kicks, and we went to see The Shining.
Excellent.
That was fucking mint. Anyway, I'll talk about the songs. Went a bit off topic and just talked about the film. One of my favourite songs on it is Brian Ferry and his orchestra. Love is the drug. Oh, and he ain't no bitchy. Oh, wait for the bell to ring. Wow, 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 wow. Oh, you've also got two of these songs I actually used for routines for burlesque. I did a Great Gatsby 1920s flapper thing, but I had Wings of Isis. What I did, I made it into a dress with a belt. So when I undid the belt, grabbed the sticks, and I had the wings, and I was like flinging them about, and it was to Jack White's Love Is Blindness, which is the most fucking, I'm shivering just thinking about it. It's one of the most beautiful songs ever.
Such a beautiful voice.
Yeah,
his voice.
Outside of the White Stripes, he's like one of the most talented guys ever.
It's ridiculous, his talent.
Yeah.
Like, you shouldn't have that talent in one person.
No, I agree.
Absolutely, and I had the absolute honour of seeing the White Stripes when they did their Elephant tour, and that was just like something that, you know, people would pay fucking millions to, like, you know, now in retrospect, because that was just their time. Do you know what I mean? You've also got Lana Del Rey's Young and Beautiful, which just makes me weep.
Phenomenal voice.
Yeah.
I used to sing that as one of my burlesque turns, and I used to just love it. You've also got Jay-Z's No Church in the Wild.
That's the one that I didn't, because like say when you listen, you think that's fucking Jay-Z, and it's like really, it doesn't quite. You think it starts fucking with your brain when you're watching it, but
it's just because it's when the car's driving over the bridge, and it's just like da 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 da, and I'm like, it just works. It's just rich. And then you've got a little party never killed nobody for like the dance. So they're all doing the 1920s flapper dance to this modern tune. And you've got was it Will.i.am's Bang Bang, fucking mint. Just this mix of just crazy shit, and it's just, but it's good shit.
I can't listen to that Will.i.am song anymore because of Queens of Pop. I can't do it.
I also just can't stand Will.i.am. I hate him. I hate his face.
There's Dinah's eyes. Hello. She's normally just like darting around when she's on screen, but this time she looked directly in the camera.
Oh,
hey Dinah.
I'm looking now. But yeah, so that's my number 4.
Oh, she's so beautiful.
Such a good pick. I'm gonna watch it tomorrow night.
I think we'll be kind of missing it. Like I say, I would feel bad if we didn't actually mention it as well, with there being a Baz Luhrmann, like how he hit the ground running with Romeo and Juliet. That kind of.
I was going to choose that one, but I
Strictly Ballroom.
Strictly Ballroom. Yes.
No, but
yes. That was one of my picks.
Strictly Ballroom is fucking brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
One of my picks on another top 5.
Yeah, but I think, like I say, the one way actually came out, and when he done Romeo and Juliet, that's when you realise, and that soundtrack is absolutely, it's like, love me, say that you love me.
Radiohead talk show host. I'll be waiting with a gun and a pack of sandwiches. That's just like one of my favourite fucking lines.
Did he do Priscilla Queen of the Desert as well?
Don't know if it was Baz Luhrmann. I'm not sure. Don't know. But Dinah's just went to bite Sam, so it's fine.
Yay. Another girl kitty who doesn't like me. Yay. Whoa, that was a good choice. I am definitely going to watch it tomorrow.
Do it.
Honestly, it's been on my list for ages because it is right up my street, and the way you described it there, I was like, that's the reason I'm going to watch it now. Like, sometimes I need to be hyped up about things, so that was a good hype.
Because I know when I've got certain things that are my loves. So F. Scott Fitzgerald is definitely one of them. The other one is Alice in Wonderland. I remember when Disney did the Tim Burton Alice in Wonderland, and I was just like so fucking hyped to see it. And I went and I was just like, oh. Do you know what I mean? Like I was just like, it's. No.
I took more out of the set design and the colours of that film than I did of anything else.
I was just like, no, this is. And I remember thinking, no, Kelly, no. Love it, and I was just like, I can't. Whereas with The Great Gatsby, it was just like, I fucking love this shit. I remember I was getting memories on Facebook because they were posting like the posters, so it was like each character with a quote. And I mean, I've got a Great Gatsby quote under me tit. That's the best thing a girl can be.
Don't get that. Will get us off Facebook. So I mean, off YouTube. Sorry.
Was it? That's the best thing a girl can be in this world. A beautiful little fool. And it just the way women are treated, and well,
if I start dressing like a 20s flapper, you know how influenced I got over this film.
Fabulous.
Brilliant. Are we ready to move on to my
fourth pick?
I'm going to go with one that probably should have been obvious from the very start. It's one of my favorite movie franchises of all time. It was directed by the amazing Sylvester Stallone. It's 1986. It's Rocky IV. But it's Rocky IV that has the best fucking soundtrack out of all of them. Don't get us wrong, I love every single Rocky movie. Love 3, love Rocky Balboa. I love them all, but 4.
We don't talk about 5.
I don't mind it. I don't mind it.
Yeah.
But it has one of the best soundtracks. You got Burning Heart, Hearts on Fire, Easy Way Out. No way out. What's it called? No easy way out. Because there's no shortcut home. Another driving song. Because he's driving in the car, having this montage of
I was going to say that it is a film just made of montages.
Yes.
Yes, motherfucking montage.
Controversially, I actually don't like Rocky.
You don't have to like that. You don't have to like Rocky, but the soundtrack is just fucking yes.
To the point where I haven't
did a lot for music.
To the point where I actually haven't seen the 4th one, and I don't know what the sound.
What? Spoiler: Apollo dies.
Oh no! I'm sure I can live with that spoiler since I'm probably not going to watch it.
It's even got "Living in America" in it as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
America.
Sang by the guy himself, so
Yeah.
that was cool as fuck. The training montage. Now I had to get the guy's name. It was done by a guy called Vince DiCola. The training montage where you see the two opposites training. So you've got Rocky, who's gone all like just raw material, and then you've got Drago. I always want to call him Draco Malfoy for some reason. Ivan Drago.
Blonde Russian.
Yes, Dolph basically doing all of these like workout with machines and everything, and everything's all technology and everything. But this music in the background again on the movie soundtrack, and I get those chills when the song comes on because it just builds up and builds up, and then just has this beautiful. I love it. The whole soundtrack is just. It's like the 80s threw up on it. Basically,
it is.
It really is. Like the 80s just had a massive bomb session, and this is what came out of it.
Whitey.
Exactly. There's no other way to describe Rocky IV's soundtrack, but it is
Like
one of the best.
It is one of the best workout soundtracks as well. If you want to go at the gym, blast it on for an hour. It'll keep you going. It'll like say there's every song will like say pump you up, push it to your limits as well. It's just fun. Every
song is so much fun. I don't know if Eye of the Tiger is on this because Eye of the Tiger came on Rocky 3, but I think they might use a snippet of it.
I think they always use it. Yeah, I think they always use it. It turned into the Rocky sound. Like
I was going to say, wasn't it?
But it only came in Rocky 3. That was because it was going to be.
Rise up.
It was going to be a Queen song, and because it was going to be a Queen song. They turned down a Queen song, or Queen turned them down, and then they went with Eye of the Tiger. But I'm sure there's like a snippet of it in 4 that can be deemed to be part of that soundtrack. But it did originate in Rocky 3. I love it. I think a lot of people who are listening to this will agree with me. It's a great soundtrack.
It's a good soundtrack, yes, but it's not the greatest soundtrack.
It's not the greatest.
It is. It's one of the greatest.
It's the greatest show.
No. We're not going through that again. I had that song in my head all night when we were in Glasgow.
We'll get well. All of a sudden, we'll see Donna join the thing just to start singing The Greatest Showman. She loves that film, bless her. But yes, so moving on to my last pick, which again I'm over the moon that nobody's thought about.
Is this your last one?
This is the last pick,
number 5, man.
This is what happens when you go first.
Yeah. So again, I've left this to last
first
because similar to Emma, I think this one has not to the scope of as Forrest Gump, but as a scope of like all different songs and how it kind of tells a story through the time as well. It has the greatest opening in any movie ever made. Facts.
Really?
Yeah. Really? And it's to a Bob Dylan song, The Times Are Changing. So it's the Watchmen
soundtrack. It has got a great soundtrack.
So going from people like My Chemical Romance, Nat King Cole, Bob Dylan, Simon and Garfunkel, Janis Joplin,
The Watchmen.
Oh, right.
Oh,
Sorry.
Oh,
I
yeah,
didn't
Rob
hear,
Love.
sorry.
Fucking
I
brilliant.
didn't hear. All I heard was My Chemical Romance. And I'm like, where are we?
Yeah. Casey and the Sunshine Band, Billie Holiday,
Yes.
Leonard Cohen, Jimi Hendrix,
Wow.
Nina Simone, all these people, like I say, and even having the Rise of the Valkyries orchestra played in this as well. Now, different beats. This film has a lot of fans and has a lot of hates. I personally think they should have kept the squid in.
Yep.
But again, that's down to my personal choice. But
The TV show corrected it.
I am one of the ones that actually hates the film, but I will agree the soundtrack is phenomenal.
Because every beat of this film, like even the uncomfortable sex scene when Leonard Cohen singing Hallelujah with Night Owl and Silver Spectre going at it, but like I say, from the start, that Bob Dylan soundtrack going through the years, going through the times, times of it changing is beautiful. And I'm sorry, it is the greatest opening in any movie.
It is. I agree. I actually agree with that.
I'll
It
agree
is.
with you.
And then
Reluctantly, I'll agree with you after your Rocky IV thing, but yeah.
And then, like I say, near the end, when you hear Jimi Hendrix kicking it all along the Watchtower, fuck me, does that have a beat and have a heart? But yeah, Watchmen as one of the greatest soundtracks ever made.
Yeah.
And that's coming from a Zack Snyder film who normally fucks
Oh
up
my
the soundtrack
god!
as well. Yeah.
Zack Snyder made the list.
Yes. For the soundtrack as well.
I know, it's shocking.
But because I say, as a comic book nerd as well, like Watchmen plays a huge part, like say my adult like reading comic books as well. I absolutely adore this. And when the film came out, I was so excited. The cast is absolutely brilliant as well. Yeah. Each character is nailed to a T. Jeffrey Dean Morgan is hideous as the comedian. Like I said, Haley, I think I'm now saying now who plays Rorschach is absolutely spot on. The guy out of the Conjuring films who played Night Owl, again, Patrick Wilson, perfect. Like say, this film should have been so good and so it had a giant blue penis, for God's sake.
Yes.
It did have a giant blue penis.
But it kind of like say it was one of them where it stayed too close to the film at times, but then during the key elements it took like bits away.
Yeah.
Again, I'm one of these people that does own the 9 hour cut, I believe, where it's got
the 9 hour cut.
I don't know if it's 9. That's maybe
9 hours.
9 hours.
I think that's an over exaggerated, but it's the one with it's got the black pearl.
It's 8.5.
It's got the
like there are so many better things to do with 9 hours.
Watch Lord of the Rings.
Fuck off. But it's got the, like I say, the intercutting of the cartoon element, the bit that was cut out there that was in the comics where the black wasn't the black pearl, because that's Pirates of the Caribbean.
That's
the Caribbean. I can't remember the name, but it was like
I know what you mean,
of the sub story and stuff like that. That was all cut in. But unbelievable. Like I say, as a tone, as Emma said, Forrest Gump sets the tone with the music.
Yeah.
And it tells the story with the music. I think Watchmen does the same, because it sets itself in the same time scale and it goes up to the 80s, not quite to the 90s, and the music tone and everything sets in with the feel and like the angst around the place, like the nuclear war kicking off. It's just, like I say, absolutely perfect. And as putting a soundtrack to a movie, other than putting Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon to the Wizard of Oz, I think this is, like I say, the ultimate soundtrack.
I'm gonna have to agree with you. I don't want to, but I think
it's a great soundtrack. I didn't like the film very much, but I think it is a great soundtrack.
I think if you know the book, you are going to hold some grudgement towards the film and how they did it. But if you can just separate yourself from it, because Zack Snyder is amazing at cinematography, and he made that film absolutely beautiful. Like regardless of what was going on in the background, like it is gorgeous film. I personally don't mind it, and I am a huge Alan Moore fan, like massive.
Fan. He fucking hates it.
He hates everything, to be fair. But the thing is, though,
the Warlock doesn't like it.
Does not. When a studio takes you to court over your material that you specifically said do not use, you are going to be pissed off at the industry. They took him to court over League of Extraordinary Gentlemen when he point blank said, "Do not use my book." And then they got took to court over copyright stuff, and he got hurled into it as well. It's ridiculous. But yeah, I can understand why he's pissed off, but he is a grumpy old bastard. He really is. There's no denying that one.
To be fair though, he sits in his little office calling himself a wizard. He's just hilarious.
His talks are amazing though, like absolutely.
That was quite a rant there, Sam, by the way.
If you can catch him on YouTube, his rants, well, they are rants. His talks are absolutely amazing. He rips Marvel to pieces in some of them. It's brilliant. Go watch him.
So yes, that's my last pick.
Awesome.
Watchmen.
Awesome.
Good choice.
Who's next? Emma.
Right. So for my last pick, I have got a few that I wanted to say, and I've had to literally just sit and eeny, meeny, miny, moe between them because I can't fit them all in, and it's really complicated, and it's really annoying that I can't use them all. So for this one, the one that I've landed on for eeny, meeny, miny, moe, I want to take you back to the 80s. I'm
always there.
You're in a small town in America, and this small town has, unfortunately, banned music and dancing.
Kevin Bacon saving the world.
I mean, you actually got that playing because I did not come across.
It did, yeah. Not very loud because it's on the phone. I could hear it, and that's the important thing. I mean, what's not to love?
Pick. Oh God!
What's not to love about Footloose? It's 80s. It's cheese. It's brilliant.
Kevin Bacon.
It's Kevin Bacon. He's dancing and swinging around a gym and swinging around an old train line. And
shit.
I mean, come on. And I mean, the soundtrack itself is guaranteed to get anybody up dancing at any 80s, well, any party. You know, party, wedding, always going to be played. You've got things like Let's Hear It for the Boy. You've got Footloose.
Let's hear it for the boys.
Do you know what I mean?
It always has to be chicken on fucking tractors.
Bonnie Tyler.
Right. I'm not joking, you're right. Do you know the bit where she goes, I swear to God, I feel 1/3 of an orgasm
Bonnie
when
Tyler.
I hear that. Because
where
it's just
have all the
full
good
of-
men gone, and where are all the gods?
And I just see his Converse
There's
all
a
star.
streetwise
trying to
Hercules
do the
to
breaks.
ride the fire in arms.
Love it. Here's a shocker for you.
I mean,
Never seen it.
Oh, well,
How can you
there's
say
a fucking shock.
Guardians of the Galaxy based the movie on it?
Yeah.
So I've seen Guardians.
I mean, to be fair, Guardians was also on the list, and it was one of the ones I had eeny meeny through.
I pulled Guardians out for possibly Lost Boys, something like that.
But
Footloose was a fucking good choice there. Shit the bed. That's amazing.
Wait, how can you live in a world without music and dance?
But
That's what
now
that
it's
film
been
shows
turned
you.
it's been turned into a musical now, though, hasn't it?
Yeah, I've seen
But
the
then-
musical when it came at the Empire, and it was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
John Lithgow's amazing in it. John
Yes,
Lithgow is just
the great
absolutely
John Lithgow, the great
fucking mint.
Diane Wiest or West or whatever she's called.
Diane
you know.
Wiest, as Boyle would say. Diane Wiest.
fucking amazing.
Kevin
You've got their
Bacon.
freaking game, Sarah Jessica Parker.
Sarah
with-
Jessica Parker
Is she?
as Rusty was one of her first roles.
I'll put it on the list. I think it is on the
Fucking
list,
watch it.
actually.
Fucking
I
mint.
mean, it's
fucking
pure
mint.
80s cheese, but it's brilliant.
It's lush. I love the well, do you know what? When I was little, I used to love the intro with the feet.
Oh yeah,
Where you see feet, and do you know one foot that goes all the way around. I always used to try and do it myself, and just like, and then the end with the parties, and I wanted to be there. I wanted to be there and dance.
This podcast's going to get something about feet at the moment as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
so we've
it
got Kelly's
does.
feet, we've got Charlotte's feet.
Hashtag Charlotte's feet.
Yeah.
I got my feet out for the Great Gatsby, but I didn't.
Oh yeah, this podcast has a lot of feet in it. Hashtag Charlotte's feet. Awesome choice. I really do need to watch it though. I've never seen. Obviously, I know the soundtrack.
I mean, who doesn't?
I have the soundtrack on my movie playlist.
Every
I've not
80s
seen it.
fan in the world has the soundtrack, whether they know it's the soundtrack or not. If you've got those songs on a playlist, you've got the soundtrack.
To be fair, there was
remember-
two big 80s soundtracks. It was either this one or Top Gun.
Top
Them are the
Gun.
two
Yeah,
Top
Top
Gun.
Gun.
This is
That-
one I took Top Gun out to replace it with me last
Highway
pick.
to
Shut
the
up.
danger
Danger
zone.
zone.
The best song in the world is playing with the boys. It's one
Oh,
of the
what's it?
best songs
Let's
ever.
do this right.
You've lost
Oh
that
yes,
feeling.
which is actually a song that my other half and his best friend sang on the karaoke at my engagement party.
Yes. You
I used to love working in
Close your
Reflex.
eyes.
Reflex, the 80s bar in the town. Every time Bonnie Tyler came on, I'd rush out and go on the little stage and be like,
Legend, Bonnie Tyler.
Loved working in Reflex. Oh, God, it was where hope came to die, though. Some of the people. Oh my God. And by the end, it was just like I would have a shift at 10 o'clock. I would have like a couple of cans of Red Bull because 10 o'clock's my fucking bedtime. And then I'd go in and there'd only be 2 people in there. And they're like, oh, Kelly, you may as well go home. And I'm like, caffeine shakes and shit. And I can't get to sleep and that. And I'm just like, for fuck's sake, what the...
In the words of Bonnie Tyler, where have all the good men gone? And where are all the gods?
God.
Oh, look at him waving.
Hello.
Oh my God.
Sorry, I thought you were talking about where all the fat bastards are, so it's fine.
Behave.
I only wanted a cuddle.
Right. Who's next?
Moving on to Kelly's last pick, then.
last pick.
Right. I chose a musical.
Oh, she broke the rules.
Do you know what I did?
She went there.
I went there, but I went there and I enjoyed it.
Better
And I'll
be
go
like
back and I'll return. I'll be like the metaphorical boomerang.
Oh, you little
I'll do
rebel.
it. Oh, I am. It had to be said though, because seriously, I mean, I listen to this in the car and the bands. My son Huxley's just like looking at me like, what the hell is this? But when he was a little baby, I've got a little video of him tapping his feet and dancing to one of the songs while he's eating, and I was just like, oh, look at him, it looks good music. And the soundtrack is Cabaret.
Oh,
One
God. This is
of
how I know
my-
you and my sister would get on like a house on fire. This is one of my
Life
sister's
is a
favorite films.
cabaret, old chum.
Fuck me,
I've
love
never
this
seen it.
film.
Oh,
shit the
Samantha,
bed.
man.
Shit the bed. Absolutely adore this film. Yet again, I mean, I love like the history and things like that, and like, you know, historical socio-economic context and all that shit.
Okay.
So it's Berlin before World War II. So not only entertaining, but it's absolutely fucking heart-wrenching and a historical document in itself. I would actually say you would learn a lot from this because it is it's based on a book by Christopher Isherwood of his own. He's an American journalist who went to Berlin. Basically, he was gay and he just wanted to be himself. And he lodged with this woman who was called Jane. I forgot her name, Jane Ross or something. And she was the Sally Bowles. And it's basically kind of like almost like autobiographical, because she went through the same thing as Sally Bowles. So, you know, like botched abortion, like having abortion and things like that. And it's just like, oh God, it's amazing. Metaphor for the political developments in the late Weimar Germany, you know, and you just see just the spiral of like, fuck, we're fucked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's quite harrowing.
It's got some banging songs in though, hasn't it?
It was
great song, right?
was it the Eliza Minnelli version, was it?
Yeah.
Liza.
Liza with a Z.
Mama, why didn't you love me?
Oh God, well,
Everyone's got a Liza impression happening there.
Mama, why didn't you love me?
I love her. I love Liza in was it Arrested Development? I think she's fucking mint.
I just love Liza in general, but honestly, that you and my sister would get on like a house on fire. Your dress, I want to say this very nicely, your dress sense is very similar. Your aesthetic, that's the word I should be going with.
Aesthetic, I like it.
Yeah, and your movie choices is very much up this is one of my sister's favourite films. And she hates that I've never seen it.
And do you know what? I hate musicals.
Really?
What?
Well, there's one
Get
thing
out of town.
this is one thing you'll differ with my sister, because she loves them.
No, seriously, I think it was because in my house we didn't watch musicals. I've never seen The Sound of Music.
Neither of us.
Get out my face, the power.
Hey man, Sammy hasn't fucking seen it either.
She expects it from me.
She hasn't seen fucking anything.
Expect it from her. But I
also, she should get out of town and get in the bin as well for not seeing it. Sam, get in the bin.
Get in the
I'm not
fucking
watching
sea.
The fucking Sound of Music.
It's fucking. It's a
looks
classic.
shit.
It's
You're
something
shit.
that I've
You
never
look
done,
shit.
like chitty chitty bang bang, I'm Ari, thanks.
So
Oh,
I'm
Big
Chitty
God.
chitty bang bang.
How can I take Kelly off the podcast now? I'm just going to remove
No,
that.
both of them.
you know what? I
Get rid of
understand
them
why
both. Get the bin.
I was like the leper of the burlesque troupe because I was like, I fucking hate musicals, and they were doing all
Well,
these musical numbers, and I'm like, oh,
That's a very fair point. How
Yeah.
can you have not liked or seen most of these musicals and perform in burlesque, which again centers around a lot of musicals?
Do you know what?
Yes, but
Actually,
there's
watch Cabaret.
certain tastes. I can understand that because
There are certain tastes and stuff like that, but
you're not going to do a burlesque to Oliver, are you? It's a bit creepy.
Oh,
that
I
one.
I
could.
suppose you probably could.
Hang on a minute.
Certain songs.
You got to pick a pocket or two to rip pockets off
Like
yourself.
for,
Have two
for the
pockets on your
for the
boobs.
Nancy songs, you could.
Yeah.
Nancy, that's different. But when you say if you're talking about Oliver, please, sir, can I have some more? Here you go, son.
But yeah, so I was the leper of the burlesque colony. I mean, I didn't mind like Chicago. You know, I liked that because we did a kind of group routine, pop.
Yeah.
Squish
He
six.
had it coming.
Oh, Cicero.
He had
that's
it coming.
Yeah,
He
I
only
enjoyed
had
that.
himself
That
to
was good.
blame.
But
She was worried about singing on the podcast. She's done now, but sing all the way through.
One of the reasons why I love the music and
Sorry, guys.
No, you're all right. Don't you worry. I'll just talk over you. Bob Fosse.
Most people do.
Oh,
to be
yes.
fair.
Bob Fosse. Sweet Charity. Fucking love that.
Yes, I love Sweet Charity.
Just the way the dancing, the like. It's fucking.
They
amazing.
all look like they've got a stick shoved right up their back because
And they look fabulous.
They really do. I love Sweet Charity.
Just the hand gestures and movements and I mean, in regards to the songs, I mean, the first song.
Point. Kelly, have you seen Moulin Rouge? Just there is a few comments saying that you would love that, and actually, you would fucking love that if you saw it. Like, it's one of my favorite musicals ever.
I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it.
Watch it. Baz Luhrmann.
Yeah, I know, because it's one of those things where I was just, but because it's like kind of a musical, it's kind of like this.
Honestly, you will love it.
I'll get on that.
Sam, you will as well. I can't believe you haven't seen it.
Watching burlesque, I was like, oh, man.
Burlesque is like a guilty pleasure.
Christina Aguilera, I love it. It's so cheesy. Really? It's one of my guilty pleasures.
It's one of mine.
So what were you saying there, Kelly? Sorry.
About the music, yeah. No, you're all right. Just the setting of the Kitty Cat Club is just full of debauchery and, you know, and everyone going just as the way to kind of, you know, relax, chill out and watch these people perform. And the song Welcome is just meant welcome, bienvenue, welcome. Oh God, it's just it's lovely. And Mine Hair, the iconic chair dance, Liza Minnelli sings her fucking heart out, and it's just absolutely lush. She is just like the epitome of girl power in a time where women were just seen as second-rate citizens and stuff, and she takes her sexuality and she fucking flies with it, and it's just it's amazing. Icon. She's fantastic. But another song that I absolutely adore is one that kind of like opens your eyes to her kind of vulnerabilities, that she isn't totally strong, and you know, maybe this time I'll be lucky, maybe this time he'll stay. That idea that she just can't, she goes, I mean, she's shagging everyone. You've got this kind of like, you know, she's with this journalist and she's shagging someone else, and she goes, and she knows the journalist loves her, and just to hurt him, she's like, well, I've been having sex with Max, and he was like, so have I. And it's just like you know, there's
drama in there too.
It's just like, you know, it's that realization that she's not the center of the world anymore, and it is quite sad. And as I say, she's not so bolshy when she sings, maybe this time, but something that really like fucking sends scared shivers down my spine. There's a song there where it's oh God, it's sung by a blonde-haired boy outside. It's the only song that's sung like outside. Every song's like in the Kitty Cat Club, and was it Tomorrow Belongs to Me? So it's a very uplifting sort of song, but when the camera goes out, you see that he's wearing a Hitler Youth uniform.
Holy shit.
So, oh God, I'm shivering now, just kind of thinking, because everyone's singing it and you think, oh God, that's just like everyone coming together. That's absolutely amazing. Tomorrow belongs to lots of optimism. And then you see what he's wearing. At the beginning of the film, you see, was it a Nazi soldier get kicked out of the Kitty Cat Club? But at the end, when he's saying like the MC, the Master of Ceremonies, is saying like goodbye, you know, at the end of the show, and the like little drum roll at the end, and there's like was it one of the brass instruments, and you can just see reflected in there, almost like kind of split up like a kaleidoscope, Nazi soldiers all in there. And obviously they closed down all the like the entertainment, the cabaret stuff, and the people who would have performed in there would be the ones being sent straight to the concentration camps, you know, people who were gay, you know. And it's just that end when they're saying goodbye, when I watch it, I'm just like, fuck, they're saying goodbye, they're going to die.
Can we go back to the like Liza impressions, because that's really bummed us out.
I know.
No,
Really dark turn.
But the thing is, so
it's good,
but it's life.
But if you're talking about Liza, though, like say she had a tragic life, though. Bless her.
She did.
She didn't have no life. She was always trying to, as you said, live up to mother's expectations and stuff. But she was a star in her own right. That probably didn't feel like she shone as well because of like
she fucking shines in this. She I swear to God, I've paid homage to her lots of times in burlesque. I did the chair dance and just performing it. I just like I was like, this is what it feels to be Sally Bowles. You know what I mean? And it was just modelled exactly how Liza did it. I mean, I'm not a trained dancer in any way, shape, or form. I can't like, you know, do a bit of a groove, but I managed to try and like keep it as close as I could to the, you know, the original sort of choreography and stuff. And it's just like watching it and listening to it, and I love it. But yeah, that's the
awesome.
I had to mention it because it's the only musical that I like.
I think it's such a cool
the only
choice.
one you've seen by the sounds of it.
I've seen Chicago.
Well, good. That's one of the better ones, so I suppose you can be forgiven.
Is Wizard of Oz classed as a musical?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I've seen that.
Yeah. Brilliant film.
Questionable. Right, I'm moving. Right, I'm moving on to my last pick.
Certainly.
And this one is, I don't know if people would actually put this and me together. It's from 2015. It is, I'm going to say this right without butchering his name, F. Gary Gray's absolute masterpiece of a film. It is Straight Outta Compton.
Was not expecting that.
Fucking love this. Now I know what you said.
Some straight up gangster rap now, are we?
Yep. I know what you said earlier, Emma, about soundtracks just being like Detroit Rock City is literally just a Kiss album, and you could potentially say the same about this. But if you watch the film, there's more in there than just NWA.
Yeah.
There's also it's a lot of music of the time, and the I know the story is about the rise of NWA. It's also about a very big part of American history, and an American genre, a music genre that came from this. It is an amazing film. It is an absolute fucking masterpiece. The casting in this, the music in this, is just top notch. Absolutely top notch. It is. I've watched it today because I contemplated it. Because I was like, is it just an NWA album that's going to run through it? Because I couldn't remember. And when I listened to it, like, I really did like listen. And there's a lot of music in there that's, there's like music just from Easy, music from Snoop, music that had nothing to do with the band whatsoever. Obviously, you've got the song Straight Outta Compton, which is
Straight Outta Compton.
Has one of my most favourite lines in there is from Eazy-E. Is a brother that'll smother your mother. I just love the way he says it. He had such a unique voice. But it also has one of the best diss tracks of all time. You will not get one that will beat this one, which is Ice Cube's No Vaseline. Absolutely an immense song. I have such a love for this kind of music. Not to the extent my husband does. I have an appreciation for the history of it. because it's an awful watch.
Yeah.
Because America was a horrible place at the time, especially for young Black men. It was around the time of Rodney King. So it was.
I was just going to say, would it not be, like, again, not to be controversial, I think, would Boys to the Hood not, again, that would have probably been up there more, but again, I can understand why you've chosen this. It has more of the, as you said, more up-to-date artists and stuff in it as well.
Yeah, I've only ever watched Boys in the Hood once, and it broke my heart. It probably scarred us more than any horror film ever did.
Because it's true life, basically.
Yeah,
that's
exactly. It
Yeah.
really is. This just depicts that period of time so perfectly, especially with the Rodney King, and then obviously the policeman getting acquitted. LAPD were rife with corruption, absolutely rife with corruption. They had politicians telling them they could do whatever they want, so they basically did. Also the whole it was the Reagan era, so it was the no drugs thing, like they were heavy on drug patrol. But it was also the LA riots as well, off the back of the Rodney King acquittals. It was, and the music fits in there to how angry these people were.
Yeah.
I know Fuck the Police is a very controversial song, incredibly, but you've got to understand where that hate comes from and how these men lived in order to understand the song. I love the movie. I love the casting. I thought the guy who played Eazy-E, man, he's just absolutely phenomenal.
What was the other Public Enemy that came out at the same time as well, wasn't it? With in with the Daft Clock.
The Daft Clock.
Like the cuckoo.
No, it was
the giant
Flavor
Flav.
Yes.
Yeah,
I don't love the music as much as my husband does. I love the history of it. I love anything to do with music history. I always love, and this one always captivates me. And it's not just obviously the deaths of the two biggest players in that genre. It's also the creation of some of the most influential music to hit that time.
But the thing is, this film was probably bigger in America than over here. I don't think it
most likely. I totally agree.
Because, like, say, not many. Again, like, I know it's going to sound bad, but it's probably my white privilege and stuff. Like, say, it probably didn't hit home or really realize, like, say, the impact and stuff. But again, through, like, say, movies and stuff, it does hit home, and like, say, it makes you realize how lucky or how privileged we have been.
Oh God,
like, 100%. To do that. But it is, I said, a horroring film, but like I say, I do enjoy a lot of them films. Like say, as I said, Boys to the Hood, absolutely heart-wrenching, like say, a film to watch and going through the time. But even then, when like they got to like the piss take ones, like Friday and don't was it one
don't be a menace to South Central, you're juicing the
hood and stuff like that.
Yeah,
them elements, even though they are piss takes, but they are bringing people like say recognition and knowledge to the subject as well.
It's bringing you into the culture as well, like of the surroundings. I love it in the film though when he's sitting there and he's just laughing away and he's get bye Felicia or something like, and it's just a line from Friday and he's writing Friday. I do love the fact that his son is playing him. And I know people were jumping straight on it saying, well, of course his son's going to play him. He looks exactly like him. But that kid had to audition just like anyone else. He went through he went through a 2-year audition process to play his own father.
Jesus, what?
Yes. They were so strict on it because they had to do it right. You've got a player in there who's no longer with us anymore. And he died for something that nobody ever saw coming. Yeah. Nobody would ever think that Eazy would have died of HIV at all. And they did it beautifully. They portrayed it beautifully. The whole movie is just, it's a homage to that time, and it needed it. And it's so, what's the word I'm looking for? It's so prevalent to how things are even today.
Yes.
Like it still echoes through time. That's what I'm trying to say. And I will end my Straight Outta Compton on that line.
Excellent choice.
I still think I won this week, so it's fine.
I don't think
Hold on.
Emma, sorry.
No,
Forrest Gump.
Emma had the top ping, but I think overall I won.
Paul always thinks he wins.
Obviously, I won with Kevin and Perry because you all totally agreed on that.
That kind of just went, ooh. It's the highs.
I think I was the only one who went, oh yeah, because I know you.
There is no accounting for taste. Also, can I just say, one film that I totally missed off my list, and now I've kind of thought about it.
Mm-hmm.
Highlander.
Oh my God, Highlander is just a
fair,
Queen album.
If you're gonna go for Queen albums, Flash Gordon.
That's what I was going to say when you mentioned Queen
Anyway,
earlier. I was just like,
we could,
Flash.
to be fair, we could talk about all of these ones that we've missed all night.
Wayne's World.
Yeah, Wayne's World.
God, Wayne's World.
American Pie.
I totally forgot Meatloaf's in Wayne's World.
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
I
Yeah.
totally forgot about that until I saw a clip today. I was like, shit, he's the doorman.
But certainly, yeah. Like I said,
We could talk about it. Could talk about it all night, and I don't have all night, so
No.
But next week's going to be interesting. So, next Friday, I believe, is this Friday or did we move it? Or has it been moved to Sunday now? Right.
Is this the one with Grant?
Grant and Jake.
It's Sunday.
Yeah, it's cool. So next week is going to be about conspiracy theories.
I can't wait. I've got some bangers. I can't wait.
So we're gonna get our fucking tinfoil hats out and
I need to make one.
Start letting like the government read our thoughts and talk about everything that's basically could have happened, should have happened, or maybe. Like I say, it might be too weird for the world.
Oh, Emma, tune in for it. My ones are absolutely brilliant.
I will do.
That's going to be a fun topic.
I absolutely love all these crazy people who go on TikTok and say like the time travelers and this is going to happen and like honestly,
it's
so funny.
I really need
so
the
funny.
toilet, man.
Me too. I need to go for a wee. So
the flat earthers is going to be in force.
Come on, wrap it up a bit.
Wrap it up, yes. So again, please, want to say thank you, Emma, for making a proper Nerdy Up North.
You're welcome. I know you've been trying for a while. So
just need a little shit.
You knew for a fact I was waiting for the soundtracks. Let's face it, I was waiting for this one.
The little shit Sean still needs to pick up his ideas and come on, so I can grief him for about an hour, but that's fine. Kelly's making a grand return as well, so it's always been a pleasure having the wonderful Kelly on in the money.
Thank you.
A little less sweary this time, so it's always good.
Really?
Yes, we'll try harder, Kelly.
Yeah. So again, please follow us on the Facebook group Nerdy Up North Community, Instagram, Twitter as well. I'm still getting the grips of that shite. Again, you can find us on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, Audible, and a lot of other places. The book club's starting to take off and having a few little elements in there now.
Get on the book club.
And again, see what's happened. So again, same bat time, same bat channel.
Stay nerdy.